We were reversed on OBS.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Captain Logan Show. It's our New Year's Eve spectacular for 2020. I am Captain Logan, and to my left is my chat moderator and producer, live and in person. Look, I can choke him right here. It's DJ Martinez. There he is.
Thank you.
You should have had a hat for that.
Well, I was just bowing.
This evening, we're going to chat with you. We're going to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about for a couple of hours right into the new year. We are so excited to do it. I've been hanging out with DJ here in Georgia, just right outside of the great city of Atlanta for just the last couple days. And we have gotten a lot of cool stuff in, man.
Yeah.
We played video games. We've gone shopping. I bought an insane amount of Batman pops. It has been a week, man.
Yeah, it's been crazy. We got a lot in just not even 3 days.
Yeah, so the people outside are so excited about the Captain Logan Show. They're shooting fireworks for us.
I don't know if you can hear that, but it's pretty loud.
So yeah, Happy New Year to you. So excited to have a little party with you. This is what we're doing. Instead of a big New Year's party, we're just having a New Year's party with you guys. And I get to do it in front of the backdrop I see every week that I have, that I finally get to be in person to see. It's great.
Yeah, it's like you've jumped right out of your screen and now you're in the room.
Oh, isn't that weird? Whoa. It's we have changed each other's perceptions this week. I finally made DJ watch The Matrix. He's seen The Matrix now.
Yeah, it's really good. I liked it.
Isn't that crazy? And is it crazy he hadn't seen it, but now he has, and so now he's making Matrix references, you guys.
Yes, I can finally fit into society.
It's good to see everybody. I see a bunch of folks in the comments already. I want to apologize for our false start earlier, but we are here now. We got I Can See Your Pixels, Balin, son of Funlin, Noah O's here, David Crabtree's here. Good to see you, man. There's Tim Drake, 559 OERS, and Ben Walters. A lot of folks in here already. A lot of folks that were in the other stream that have not popped in yet, but I'm sure they'll be here unless they're like, you know what, we're really sick of the technical difficulties, Gab. So we got other New Year's things to do. We're going to go drink without you. Anyway, tonight we are having a little bit of alcohol, and DJ, I didn't think drank at all, but I got him to drink a little bit, so that's exciting.
Yeah, he made me drink, so you know I'm gonna be respectful. I'm gonna try it.
You think that's a show anybody would watch?
He made me drink.
Tonight I got DJ to, I'm almost done with mine, but I got DJ to drink a concoction of my own called, that I refer to as a Sumerian Sunset, which is a name I got from a TNG episode called Disaster, DJ. And at the beginning of that episode, no, it's not Disaster. What am I talking about? It's Conundrum. Because it's the episode where everybody loses their memories, and including Data, which is crazy how they made that work. But yeah, even Data loses memories in that. And he's behind the bar in 10 Forward, and he makes a drink called the Sumerian Sunset. And when he loses memory, he thinks he's the bartender. And when he hits the side of the glass like this, it makes this really cool sunset looking thing in the glass.
Oh,
it makes like a cool light, and but it makes it look like kind of the color spectrum that I had in the drink, which is why I named it that. Yeah, which you can't really see.
Yeah, you can't see. It used to be there was like pink cranberry juice sitting on top of the orange and pineapple.
It's cool. So the way you make it, if anybody wants to make one, it's a vodka drink, and make sure that you're 21. And
that's the first thing. The hardest thing to accomplish. If you're not.
It's step 1. It's step 0.5, really. What you want to do is get some. The lighting in here is really good, DJ. Well done.
I made it myself.
What you want to do is fill up your glass about halfway. Get some ice in it. Fill it up with about half orange pineapple juice. This is all about pineapple. Get orange juice with pineapple in it. Then put a couple shots of vodka in, and then and I use pineapple vodka. I try to make everything pineapple for this drink. And then you want to get cran pineapple and put about half as much as you did with the orange juice in that, and then don't swirl it around because it's gonna make a really cool kind of layered design in the glass. Yeah. So that's
actually the vodka that we had was mango pineapple. So you said you really liked it.
Yes.
So maybe if you can find that.
Yeah, and that changed the flavor of it. I liked it a little bit more with that. But yeah. So anyway, that's what we did. I'm also drinking wine. What kind of wine is this?
That is Sauvignon Blanc.
I can't say that.
It's good.
I'm not French enough. You're not either, but you fake it really well.
Yeah, well, my wife's, my mom has a little French in her.
Is that right?
That doesn't mean anything. It's not like I inherited it.
Yeah, it comes genetically. Yeah, absolutely. We're also wearing ugly Christmas sweaters this evening.
Yes. Why are we? Explain that to me.
Because I had it in my suitcase.
Oh, okay.
DJ, I came from another trip.
This kind of doubles as
this doubles as our Christmas show. That's right. It's sort of like how Thanksgiving often doubles as a Christmas parade. You ever notice that? You have Thanksgiving parades where Santa Claus shows up at the end. It's like, now it's Christmas season.
So it's turning over.
It's the end of the Christmas season. Christmas is just the dominating holiday. When we say Happy Holidays, if you celebrate Christmas, we're really saying Merry Christmas or Happy Christmas if you're British for a couple months, and all those other holidays nobody cares as much about. That's really what we're saying. So anyway, we're going to start answering some questions. I already see some super chats. DJ,
you guys are great.
I'm going to tell you about something you don't know.
Ooh,
are you ready?
Surprise for the moderator.
There is a goal this evening.
Oh, I'm in the dark.
There is a goal. It's not, no, it's not Captain Logan. It's not.
No, I'm saying I'm in the
Captain Logan in the dark. Captain Logan After Dark will come back next week. I believe next week, so look forward to that. But anyways, we have a goal tonight. The goal is, and I don't know if we'll hit this, but we're going to be broadcasting for a couple hours, so there is a chance. So if we don't, no big deal. As always, if you guys want to help us out monetarily, feel free to do that. We really, really super appreciate it. It helps us do cool stuff on the channel, helps keep this train moving. This is my full-time job, but if you can't do that or you are not inclined, thanks a bunch just for watching and being here. I always want to give out that disclaimer so that folks don't feel like you're not welcome if you're not throwing money at us. It's totally cool, but we really appreciate everybody who has ever helped this out. That nobody throws it. Look, no one gets that reference. I'm going to have to explain it every time you say that. I'll explain it later. Tonight, $200 goal. Do not know if we'll make that, but if we do, DJ, what? So we got a couple hours. We're gonna go past the new year, and we're already 20 after 10. So I want to make sure we're broadcasting for at least 2 hours. DJ, the goal this evening is for a 24-hour stream.
What?
$200. If we get to $200, I'm going to do a 24-hour stream
with him.
I don't know. Yeah.
I'll pop in.
Pop in. Yeah. I'm not asking you to stay up for 24 hours, but I am going to. I have a few.
I'm glad you got my genuine reaction to this on camera because he did not tell me about this. That's crazy.
And like with so many things, of this? About 10 minutes ago.
Of course.
So we're gonna do. I'm gonna do a 24-hour stream. This is the thing I've always wanted to do. Dan's News does these, and they always sounded fun. I've always kind of wanted to do one. I did like half a one, like about a 12-14 hour stream with Dan's News when he was at my place for Arkham City, and it was such a delight. It was so much fun to do, and I want to try it. So I'm going to be by myself. I'm going to bring in some other co-hosts here and there if I can get people to pop in, but it is mostly going to be me. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. It might be a little bit of everything. I might do some video games. I might do a little bit of commentary stuff, although we don't have Rabbit Room anymore, so that makes that kind of difficult, but that would be fun. What I'd really like to do, but I don't know how many people I could get to even pop in and do this with me, is I'd love to do 24 again. I'd love to do 24 in 24 hours again, because I've never done it actually streaming, and I did it like 10 years ago. But I am absolutely open to suggestions, so I'm not promising what exactly the show is. I'm just promising that I will do one, and it will be somewhere in the month of January or February, because I need to figure out what exactly I'm doing with it. I'm going to need to take the time to rest up for it. I got to talk to my wife and figure out when the best time to do it is. But that is the plan. 24-hour stream. So some folks are freaking out and think that is crazy, and it is, and that's what I'm going to do. So if you guys want to see that happen, feel free to leave super chats. If you want to make sure that your questions or comments or topic suggestions get read on air, leave us a super chat of any denomination and of any currency that is allowed on YouTube. Sometimes we get pounds. Sometimes we get these very heavy. We don't want to do cryptocurrency. It's sort of like the Discover card of the internet, really. At least here for us. Ooh, I don't hate that. Although that would not probably be the way to make counting crypto free. But Wanderer says do 12 for 24 hours.
I wouldn't even get you through a whole season, unfortunately. Well, it might, because they're 45.
It would.
It would be just around it. Yeah.
It would. Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and start answering stuff. Hey, DJ, it's kind of weird sitting right next to the guy.
You get to see my behind-the-scenes, how I do
your whole setup. Yeah. This is pretty impressive without multiple monitors, I have to say.
Yeah. Well, it's usually more crazy because we usually have 3, but Tonight we're just doing the 2 screens. So.
Yeah, doesn't look too bad. Yeah, we're going totally raw tonight, probably because we were having OBS issues, and partly because it was just kind of easier. He's on a Mac, and I'm not used to that setup, and this is all behind the scenes and inside baseball.
Nobody cares.
Okay, so nobody cares.
You want to start with the super chat?
Let's do it, man.
Dave Atkins. Got the first super chat, and this was like 2 hours ago. I saw it pop.
It was a while back. Really I don't even know if Dave's in here right now,
really
but thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah.
He just says, "Happy New Year, bro. Peace and love to Jason, Sarah, and the other kids." So doesn't care about me or my happiness, but you, he's very concerned about you and your whole family.
Look, we've always pitched this like you're just the behind the scenes guy that answers the questions, okay? And my name's in the title, and we treat you like set dressing, okay?
Well, I thought that finally that we were in the same room, I could be, thought of as an equal, but I guess.
Well, this show, yes, but maybe he wasn't here. He didn't know that was going to happen. Yeah.
I am joking. I love you, Dave.
You can be thought of as much of an equal as I think of anyone else when I have them on camera.
Okay, thank you. That's very vague, and I have no idea what that means.
I just want to say I'm as conceited as humanly possible. No, thanks a lot, and best wishes to you and yours as well. Hope everybody has a wonderful new year. And if anybody has any cool New Year's resolutions, throw those in the comments. DJ, do you have any New Year's resolutions?
I don't know. I haven't given any thought yet.
I have many, which means I'll accomplish half of one.
Half of one? His is to do a cartwheel, right?
To do a cartwheel?
A cartwheel, to accomplish a cartwheel.
You don't think I can do a cartwheel? You don't think I can do one right now?
That's just an office.
I mean, I can.
It's just an office reference.
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't watch that.
Creed was, well, it wasn't really an office reference. It's just something I thought was funny.
Look, I tried it, man. I watched a couple episodes of that show. It just wasn't my brand of humor. Like, I couldn't get into it.
Oh, I understand.
I didn't care for it.
We have very different senses. DJ is Winston to Cap's Peter, Ray, and Egon.
Huh. Okay, here's why that doesn't work. Because DJ doesn't show up in the third act, but was in like the last half of the movie, but was originally intended to be a main character. DJ was never intended.
I kind of showed
to be a main character.
Geekvolution. If you look at the whole thing, I'm kind of in the modern era of Geekvolution.
So far, yeah. But the Geekvolution has been going on for so long. I'm such an old person now that you can't look at it as a 3-act narrative structure. You have to look at it more like the history of comics. We've got like the golden, silver, bronze, and modern age.
Well, and now we're just in the modern age, so we're just going to stay in the modern age.
Yeah, I'm going to say the modern age started in year 4, and we'll stay in it for the rest of time.
Matthew Bass, or Bass, whatever it is, says, do a cartwheel on camera. He wants you to prove it.
I can't. There's not enough space back here. I will say, quick plug for Patreon.
Yes, please join Patreon.
Should I mention this?
Of all videos.
There is.
Hype it up.
There is a video that we made where you can see DJ backflip and front flip like 20 times.
And
it's spectacular. You can also see me jump around on a trampoline but not do any of those things.
It has nothing to do with that. It is me and Cap both on the trampoline at the same time.
And me trying to dodge you.
Jumping around like hooligans and acting like 5-year-olds. And that'll be on Patreon tomorrow.
No,
he's gonna edit it.
It's not tomorrow. No, don't say that. Don't say it. It'll be next week sometime. But don't underestimate the awesomeness of the Power Ranger-esque movesets. See, DJ's been doing the karate thing and the martial arts thing his whole life, and all of this stuff is just normal to him. And if you're standing there watching it, it blows you away. It's absolutely spectacular. Okay,
it was fun. It was fun. We were like in the middle of shooting 2 other videos, and I was like, let's go downstairs and do this stupid thing real quick.
This looks like a lot of work.
Yeah, well, this is what's going on.
Like, look at that. Not everybody could do this, Like, this probably looks like a job that anybody could do. And I don't want to sell short folks that I've had come in at the 11th hour when you, with no notice at all, I couldn't make it to help me out and take your place that night. Because they both did a wonderful job the last few weeks when that happened. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Very important reason that I can't disclose yet.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was like a family important emergency sort of situation. So anyway, I'm just giving you crap because it's funny. But crunching ice now.
Sorry,
no, that's cool.
Right into the microphone.
No, I wish I had chips. But no, they do a great job. But DJ has built like a method over a long time system.
The DJ system.
And the man is just really good at what he does.
Job.
You can't
do job. That's the DJ system. It's an acronym.
That's good. You want to throw that out though, because people will just start calling you do job. We're gonna say that the welder's real name is Do Job.
Dewey Job.
Dewey Job. Dude.
Hey, the welder. We're only 27 minutes in. 27 minutes in, and the welder has already made it.
It took a while before we find 27 minutes. No, we're 15 minutes in.
Oh, sorry. I'm just looking at 10:27 because we started late. That's right.
We did start late.
That's how time works.
You remember all the shenanigans of not being able to get started? In fact, I got to go back and delete the
Yeah, Cap's gonna be.
No, it's actually not showing up. We just got the.
Yeah, we thought we were live for a second earlier.
Yeah, look at that amazing thumbnail we made.
That's perfect.
It's just it's.
Hey, real quick before we get rolling, can I?
Oh, you want to get? Yeah. You want to throw that out there?
Okay, so we went to the mall today. Like he said, he came home with 8 pop figures. He got 6. I bought him 2 more.
Thank you for that, by the way. That was so cool of you.
And we went to Think Geek. We went to Box Lunch. A lot of
but there was a
pop
store.
And there was just a pop store, and he got one from everywhere. So it was great. And then there was a Marvel specific photo booth. And I was like, Cap, we have to.
Never seen that.
We have to go in here. It was an awesome one. It was a big one that you just stand up in, and it had Jarvis like giving you the instructions. It was pretty expensive, but I knew we had to do it. And it makes you into a comic. And we had to do Venom, of course, because it's Cap. So this is us on the Venom comic.
Look at all the blood spatter. He looks like Dexter.
We look horrifying.
But you look horrifying.
Cap looks like he's scared of me. I think that's what it is. Were you?
I wasn't acting. You're the welder.
So we did a cover, and then we also did a page, a spread, where we did multiple images with ridiculous faces.
Yeah. And now tell them why we had to do 2.
Yes. So it was $10. We got in there, we're like, oh man,
which was
$10.
A lot. Now we didn't expect the pages to be as big as they are. I mean, not that they're massive, but like that. I mean, it could have been worse. Like.
I look like Slappy. It was outrageous enough with $10, but someone decided to put a 20 into a machine that doesn't give you change.
That had a sign
right on top of it.
And I missed the
sign.
I
was like, no.
And he almost like he was a second late. I put the 20 in, and we just looked at each other like, crap. Like, what are we? And it doesn't give change back, so you're just stuck. You're like, what are we gonna do? So we did 2, and I'm gonna keep.
It worked out great because we're each gonna take one home. We're gonna frame it, put it right on the movie. I'm just kidding. I don't know where we're gonna put it, but
somewhere. I don't know.
But it was a fun memory.
It's a good memory.
Yeah,
I will cherish.
And I gave him $10.
I will.
So we both paid for one.
Yeah, it was really cool. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So people are liking it. People saying Venom with a bunch of Venom.
Gotta go
get him. Dewey Job Welding Company.
Dewey Job Welding Company.
That was fun.
There's gonna be a test later about there's gonna be a welder trivia test where you have to remember things like the welder's real name. I will periodically tell you other things I know.
We're going to do a Patreon hangout that's a welder trivia?
Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do. Yeah, we'll do a 10-question
welder Austin, I don't know what his name is.
You got to know what his real name is. It's Dewey Job.
Austin in the Secret Society, quick plug, is all about the welder. I think he has the best backstory built up for him. I think he would.
Oh, I haven't seen. Okay, and see, I'm going to have to do welder research before I can. Yeah, and there's no way that we haven't already contradicted some of what the welder is.
Definitely. DJ and Cap, what are your favorite monster films? Mine are Peter Jackson's King Kong and Garrett Edwards' Godzilla. This is from Balin, son of Fundin.
So I'm not a big giant monster guy, so my answers won't be real interesting. It is going to be kind of obvious, but my favorite is probably still the 54 Godzilla.
I have not seen that.
It's just
I really want to see that. It's so hard to get a hold of. I think it's on Criterion, the streaming service. I'm gonna have to do like a month of that or something to watch.
Okay.
I really want to see that.
I mean, you can get a copy pretty cheap. Like you just get one.
Yeah, but I want me. I like collecting. I want to get like the nice version.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
$50, but I want to see it first before I buy it.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely want to see that. What are some? I don't know. I haven't seen enough. I actually kind of like the idea of monster films, but I haven't got into it. I do love Peter Jackson's King Kong. That's one of my favorite movies.
Well, it's hard for me not to think of Jurassic Park as a monster film. So like, it's hard not to get that. You know what I mean?
How sentient do they have to be before they're monsters?
Before they're monsters? Yeah, I don't know.
Or intelligent, I guess. I mean, the raptors have to be.
I mean, I'm glad Eric's not here because he would punch me in the face for saying that probably. But I'm not like a
Jurassic Park. What's wrong with you?
I'm not a giant monster guy, So
I will give a shout out to a very strange film that I like a lot. It's one of my favorite films. It is a Norwegian film, and it is, or Swedish? I think it's Norwegian. And it is called Troll Hunter, which I found because you and Eric did a Netflix roulette on it.
It's excellent.
It's so good. It's like a mockumentary.
I would put that up there. I forgot all about it. Yeah, no, it's excellent.
you found out this about me this week. I love fairy tales. It's one of my favorite things. And this movie delves into the actual Norwegian myths where the trolls come from, and it like explains why they turn to stone when the sun hits them, why some of them explode. There's like different races of trolls, and it's like it's shot like a found footage mockumentary, like it's real. It's super cool.
I forgot all about that.
I love it a lot.
No, that one's cool.
It's one of my favorites. So that's one I'll shout out to. And you're sticking with Jurassic Park?
Nah, Godzilla.
Oh, Godzilla.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's your favorite. Okay, cool. Let me jump to the super chats because those are stacking up, and we've just been kind of just talking.
Godzilla's just got it's such a excellent like allegory, and
I know that's why I'm excited to see that one. I really want to see that one because that's like a classic sci-fi movie, right? It's like science fiction.
Well, yeah, it's like we created the monster and we're making the same mistakes and trying to destroy the monster, and it's about creating the atomic bomb, and it's about the fallout of World War II, and it's about occupying Japan. And I don't think I would appreciate it as much if I hadn't studied occupying Japan when I saw it, because I saw it in a college class about Japan after 1945. And I've talked about this before, but it's in the context, like knowing the history of what happened with that country immediately after the occupation. I appreciated that a great deal more.
Oh, also, got to shout out one more.
Yeah.
Shape of Water. One of my favorite movies. Best movie of 2017. So glad it won Best Picture.
Hey, there's Connor.
Killed it.
Hi, Connor.
That's definitely a monster movie. And I wish that's what we were doing with all the monsters, is making those kind of movies, because that movie it might be a perfect film. It's close. It's super close to perfect.
Did you see Skull Island?
Yes.
Oh, you didn't like it? I thought it was okay. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
You didn't care for that?
Well, I love the Peter Jackson King Kong so much.
Seen that.
It's such an epic, and it's such a love letter to the original.
Everyone's always told me it's just too boring, and so I never looked at it.
I like long, boring films. That's me.
That's true. You do like long, boring
films. I mean,
you showed me a long, boring film today. It wasn't boring though. It was amazing.
But that's the kind of film I like. That's the kind of the tone I like. That's why I was always worried to go to Matrix, because I thought it was something different than it was, but it wasn't.
The movie we watched today was Arrival. Is that what that was called? Yeah.
I'm still. I don't know about that title.
We didn't talk about the title. Yeah, it's kind of still generic. It's just, the aliens show up.
It has to have a double meaning, and I'm sure I'm not.
I'm trying to work it out in my head, and I have a couple of vague, amorphous ideas. But
whoa,
wow,
we just got a. Should I do it now? Or should I wait?
My goodness, go ahead and put it in the list, just so that we don't accidentally shaft anybody. But we did just get a $50 super chat, which gets us 1/4 to the goal. Really appreciate that.
Thank you, Joseph. We'll read it later.
Yeah, thank you. But not too long from now. We really appreciate it, man. Yeah, I thought it would be fun to kind of, if I was going to set sights a little higher tonight, do a longer goal, or do a bigger goal, because we're doing a longer show, I would really make myself work for it. So if you just popped in, I'm doing a 24-hour stream if we hit a $200 goal tonight on Super Chats. So if you are so inclined, feel free to, of course, contribute to that. But if not, thanks for being here. No, that was amazing. Thank you so much, Joseph. Okay, what do we got next? Have we done any pre-written yet? Because
we've only done one super chat, and we've got about 6, but I can do a pre-written. Well, we just did a pre-written. That was the monster question.
Oh, okay.
So next super chat is from 5590ERS. How do you pronounce that normally? Is that you just read it all?
I just read it all out. If it is supposed to spell something, okay. So can I mention this really quick? I am terrible at those. Maybe it's supposed to spell out something, and I missed it. There was my son picked up one on a few weeks ago, looking at a personalized license plate that I did not immediately understand, and I felt so dumb, especially because of what it was. Okay, it was. Let me see if I can even remember it. It was INT5, I think. It was intuitive.
Wow. and Jason picked it right up.
And Jason goes, "Oh, that's." I looked at it and I read it funky, because Jason and I have this thing where whenever we drive around, I'm always seeing personalized license plates, and I always see it before Jason, and I say one out loud without any context, and Jason always for a minute is like, "Why'd you say that?" And then he looks around because he knows that if I said something random out of context, it must be a license plate. So he looks around for the license plate, and when he sees it, he just looks at me, and he's got, I swear to God, he's got like a Spock eyebrow, and he just goes, "It's intuitive, Dad."
That is the most ironic thing.
And then what he says is, yeah, and this is my 9-year-old, and I'm not making this up. Immediately after that, he goes, "Dad, apparently that license plate wasn't very intuitive."
That's awesome.
I had to tell that story. I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's really good. Yeah, I don't know if your name's supposed to be something or if it's just numbers, but 5590ERS says,
Is your
what do
name
you
something?
prefer, Grant Morrison or Alan Moore? Oh, getting right back in.
Wow. Okay.
I'm putting you on the spot.
Morrison or Moore. It's apples and oranges. It's night and day. It's the East and the West, man. It depends on what kind of mood I'm in, and it depends on what the story is. Morrison tends to write more optimistic stuff. Moore does write optimistic stuff, but he also likes to deconstruct superheroes. We've been talking about this a lot lately, and tends to do, especially with things like Watchmen and V for Vendetta, stuff that reads a little bit more cynical. I think those are opposite extremes on like a Batman Joker level, and I think you absolutely need them both. And I think you kind of, and that's not to say that one is good and one is evil, but I think that both complement each other extremely well. And of course, interestingly, they both kind of look at each other a little bit like rivals. But I don't see their work that way. I think one kind of helps to define the other one, and I think they are both equally brilliant comic writers. They've also both written things I like, and they've both written things that I don't care for much. So I like them both. As far as my own personal like preferences just in reading, I guess typically it's more before Morrison, which I guess sounds kind of weird. But I mean, sometimes Morrison's more like really weird out there psychedelic stuff is a little bit harder to get my teeth around. But if I looked collectively at their body of work, I probably like more Morrison things than Moore things. I've also read more Morrison than Moore.
I just love that you're using the word Moore so much in a conversation about someone named Moore and Morrison.
Moore and Morrison, yeah. Read more Morrison.
Sound like Dr. Seuss over here.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, I'm going to go on to David Crabtree's, he gives us $5 super chat. He just says, it's great hanging out with you guys tonight. I've got Cap and DJ up on the Roku. Oh, we're on his TV.
Oh, cool, we're on TV. Look at it, we're on TV.
West Wing's on in the background and some cold alcoholic beverages.
So I was the way you read it, it sounded really vague.
Yeah,
it sounded really ambiguous. Some cold.
Yeah, you don't have to tell us what
alcoholic, but yeah, no, it's cool. If it's too personal, no, that's fine. You know, I don't understand why that's such a sore spot for you. You can't just come out and tell us that it's, you know, whiskey, but yeah. And
then Jeffrey E.
Is it a White Russian? Is it
Jeffrey Patron is here also. He gives $5.
Jeffrey, hello, sir.
Happy New Year's and Roaring 20s. Here we go.
The Roaring 20s. Now, this is going to be an irritating thing through the century. Now that we're past the teens, every decade that has kind of a moniker associated with it, I think you're either going to hear people try to turn our decade into that, or they're going to try to come up with something else to supplant it. And this is what you end up with when you finally have 100 years of recorded history. I'm sorry, not recorded history. Like video and audio.
This was the first 100 years of recorded history, guys.
Yeah. Before that, we didn't know about anything. That's not what I meant, okay? I meant like audio and visual recorded history. But anyway.
Yeah. It's going to be super weird.
It's going to be weird.
All right. I'm going to, let me see. How many, we got so many super chats. I'm going to have to catch up a little bit.
There's too many monkeys.
John Ty. Should the fans get to so here we go. Settle in.
Here we go.
Should the fans get to dictate how entertainment should be made, no matter what the creator intended it to be, like the live-action Sonic movie?
So a question like this has been coming up a lot lately, and I totally, again, thanks for the super chat, and I totally understand why. It's because it seems to be happening more and more, and this is more and Morrison. When you look at Rise of Skywalker, you're hearing a lot of people saying that was a movie made by Reddit, and it was in a lot of ways. And
hang off so many things that nobody needed.
The example I always go back to is 2014 Ninja Turtles, where Michael Bay said aliens, and everybody lost their minds, and we immediately rewrote that script that it wasn't aliens anymore. And there's even a joke about the alien thing because nobody wanted that. There are two sides to this argument. From a fan standpoint, of course, there are things you want to see and things you don't want to see. And when your favorite thing, it feels like it's monkeyed with, even if it is well told and well made. You're going to feel funky about that, and you're not going to like it. And so
Spider-Man
on an
MCU Spider-Man is the perfect example.
Absolutely, yeah, which I think is excellent, but I totally get why a lot of Spider-Man fans are miffed about it and the whole Iron Boy kind of issue that a lot of folks complain about, right? Exactly. So on an individual level, you're gonna wish they would do what you like, but I think it's also important to recognize that a lot of people have their own definitive versions of things and their own likes and dislikes and wants and stuff with the thing, and it very rarely is a thing going to be exactly what you personally wanted, and so to wish that you could just like dictate it yourself is like a pipe dream. So like on the creative side, the problem is we're talking about a very commercial medium. And so you want good storytelling, obviously, or at least I do. You want the thing to be whatever it is, as intelligently made as it can, and to not just be least common denominator, and not just be the same thing you've seen a billion times, and not just there to make money, but it's also there to make money, and it's also there. It can't exist unless it does, because there is so much at stake. There's so much money put into a thing. And so I get on the creator's side or on a production house's side, the immediate knee-jerk reaction of, if the fan base reacts poorly immediately to an idea, if we do that, we're going to be on fire.
Especially on something like Sonic, which is kind of niche.
Yeah.
Niche. I don't know what I was saying. But yeah, I mean, it's a small, I mean, if you don't get the fans on board for that, like, who is going to come? So
what you want in the first place is somebody with a real vision. And even if you're going to go counter to what the thing initially looks like, you just hope that it's smart enough and interesting enough that it can win people over, and that it doesn't come from a place of again, least common denominator, just plug in for a formula and do exactly what other things in that genre have done before. So would the Ninja Turtles alien movie Michael Bay was going to produce be a good movie? I kind of doubt it. I don't think it would have been. Would it have looked as compromised of a vision if they hadn't tried to give the fans what they wanted? Probably not, but it still wouldn't have been good. So the problem there is we started from the wrong approach in the first place. Creatively we were starting from entirely the wrong place, where all we wanted to do was try to find that magic formula and make money. This is the problem that Star Trek Discovery has, where we don't. A lot of people making that show don't understand Star Trek. Not everybody, but the people that are making the big calls at the end of the day don't understand Star Trek. And so when they hear, a lot of the fan base thinks that it's too cynical and that it doesn't conform to Gene Roddenberry's vision or whatever, they go, okay, well, we're gonna try to figure that out, but we don't understand that. We don't actually want to be making Star Trek. We want to make dark, grim, dark science fiction. And so they're still making that, but they're pretending like that's not what it is. So we kind of started from the wrong place in the first place. So this is I don't know how to answer this simply. There's a very long-winded way of saying the fan base should not dictate what it is, but the fan base needs to be thought about in the sense of, remember that there's a reason it was popular in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like we can definitively, the way you pose the question, we can definitively say, no, they shouldn't dictate.
They shouldn't dictate it,
but they should be taken into account.
But if you can make the fan base happy, not by giving them the disparate elements of a thing that they want, but by understanding them, by making a thing, by having the people who make it, people that like the material in the first place. And I'm talking about with pre-existing stuff, because obviously we're talking about fans, pre-existing fan base for things. If you start from that place, you can potentially, hopefully, make the fans happy by making good whatever that is, even if you take risks, even if you turn some of those people against you. And the hope is you can win new people over on a thing that won those people over in the first place. That's what you do, and that's how you make a thing that's accessible. So you make a thing that's potentially accessible. You don't worry about the accessibility. You just this sounds stupid, but you just make it good.
Well, I think the potential.
We're not worried about it being good. We're worried about it hitting the surface beats.
Potentially, I think the problem is that not all the fans agree with what you're saying. Like, I think, yes, I agree with you that if the Sonic trailer would look really good, like it was a great movie, but it didn't look like Sonic, we would be okay with it. I think some of the fans still would have been mad just that he looked like that, even if it was a fantastic
movie.
I think they do get hung up on the superficial stuff.
And to be fair, like, I don't want to sit here and be a hypocrite. I would have never been happy with that design. Even if the movie was great, I would have made fun of that till the day I died because it's hilarious. Like, it looked terrible.
So yeah, I don't know how.
What are you going to do?
I would like to know if it came out and looked like a great vision and looked like a movie that had its own direction, if people would have been as upset.
Call me fanboyish, but with that particular example, and with the Ninja Turtles example, because that had a design issue as well.
Yeah. See, I'm with you there. Like, I don't care anything. I don't know anything about Sonic, but yeah, I hate the gigantic concrete crushing Ninja Turtles. Doesn't make sense. They're not ninjas.
Call me a fanboy, but if the hearts were in the right place in the first place, if there was any creative vision, it wouldn't have looked like that.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have, because it looks like that to try to make the universe happy. It made it. I think it was to make it look more like cutesy to get families to go see it.
Interesting.
And Sonic already has enough of that.
Yeah, but he looks cutesy already. But have you seen Baby Sonic?
I don't know what you're talking about.
There's a Japanese promo for the movie that has a Baby Sonic. I'll have to show it to you later. Look up Baby Sonic, guys. I saw it on
I like this. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Let me go down for a minute. Now I got somebody else in control of this. Daniel Davis says, you're more worried about satisfying your core audience that you forget to make a good film. That's exactly right. Yeah.
That's the suicide problem.
But
they say that it's for the fans just because the critics didn't.
Well, and when I don't want to put words in his mouth, but when I read core audience, I'm not thinking the fans of the thing. I'm thinking of the demographic.
Yeah.
You know, I'm thinking of 16 to 25-year-old men or whatever whoever they expect to go to that movie. Mm-hmm. And again, it's just about the disparate elements. It's just about the surface stuff. And you got to win people over with story and with style and with atmosphere and with a piece, like an actual piece.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you can always win people over on stuff they wouldn't otherwise necessarily go to. Remember that so many people did not give a crap about sci-fi or space or sci-fi-esque stuff until Star Wars. That movie won people over on space as a concept.
Yeah, that's true. Let me see. We got a lot of super chats rolling in, so let me start. I'll get you started on another one, and then I'll copy those ones over. We have another one from the guy who we can't say his name, and he still hasn't given us any direction as to how to say his name. 5590 ERS says, "Do you?"
I'm gonna try. It's 55 years.
90 years.
90 years.
5590 years says,
50, yeah.
Do you think the 2010s were a good or bad decade?
What a great question.
What a vague question. He's talking about film, or is he just talking about
as a decade?
General?
No, I like this because it's fun to talk about a decade in general.
Yeah.
Now we're just now getting off of it, so we have no hindsight whatsoever. but we'll try it. I would say just now being thrown, having that thrown at me, that the 2010s were a mixed bag, yeah? And I guess you could say that potentially about any decade. Yeah. But when we're just talking in general, like, and I don't know, like all I can really speak to is like my own experiences and like our country and just what little I know of the world, right? It's obviously, like, I won't get into this, but like politically really strange, really wonky. We saw a big, massive, weird cultural shift. I think throughout the 2010s, we have increasingly seen the political divide in this country get a lot wider. That gap becoming more chasmous, and that's kind of scary. And I think it's really easy to go back and look at 2009, 2010 as a simpler and more innocent time, which is bizarre, because that doesn't feel that long ago to me, of course, and that's when I started all this. And when I look back at 2009, just before my first kid was born, I was thinking of it as a very complicated time. Remember that, and like culturally, it feels simpler. But like that's when the recession hit. A lot of us were having a difficult time putting food on the table and even making it. That's not to say that a lot of people don't still have that problem now. But as a nation, you had the housing crisis, you had all that stuff going on. And but as far as pop culture went, it absolutely was simpler, right? We were just on the heels. We were just looking at the beginning of what people are calling now toxic fandom, which is a phrase I hate saying out loud, but it's true, right? We were not as, I think we were already talking about people being really volatile in online and in YouTube comments and things. That has increased exponentially throughout the decade. It's just gone to the nines. And it's kind of sad that that's happened, but like 2012 with Dark Knight Rises was the first time I was really super cognizant of it. Where the first time I put out a video where I just kind of spoke my mind about a movie and got an insane amount of backlash, and I was like, oh, this could happen even to me. This is a thing now, and it seems like people became over time a lot more. And this is related to what we were talking about earlier with fans controlling fiction and stuff. Started a lot of people wanting more control over what they were watching, and a lot of people getting a lot more up in arms and angry when it wasn't exactly what they wanted. But at the same time, and I guess I'm just talking about negative stuff right now, but at the same time, for better or worse, we got a lot of really good superhero movies. We got also a lot of really bad superhero movies, and
a lot of superhero movies.
It really changed the culture. It's been an exciting time for me to live in because this is what I do for a living. And all of a sudden, the thing that I was talking about all the time, making videos about, became the thing that makes Hollywood money. Which I never could have anticipated. The streaming wars have been fascinating. Watching streaming television take over as the mainstream and kind of supplanting broadcast has been really interesting to watch. And
how that's affected television as a medium.
Absolutely, and we were still talking at the end of the 2000s because YouTube was in its infancy, still about reality TV and how it had taken too much of a stronghold over television, and how we couldn't get good scripted stuff, and we didn't care about storytelling there anymore, and that has flipped entirely because YouTube is the new reality television.
Yeah, we had the whole television renaissance.
Absolutely, yeah,
and not only affecting the quality of television, but affecting the way in which it's told. Like people get super upset now when an episode of television is episodic.
Yeah,
people are losing their minds on Mandalorian because it's an episodic television show, because it's
a lot more episodic.
That's not what television is these days.
Yeah, that's right.
It's just a broken up story, one complete story per season usually.
It has been a decade where I have kept up with popular music not at all. I pay no attention whatsoever to pop music or rock. Weird Al put out his last album in 2014. That was right in the middle of the decade. But he planned to start making a lot of one and done songs.
You were excited. You were so excited about that.
Been doing much of that. He's done like two. He's been touring a lot though. I've seen him twice with two entirely different shows in the last 2 years. He did his Unplugged show, which it wasn't Unplugged, but he did a show that was just with his band and didn't have all the bells and whistles that he usually does, and he played mostly just his originals, which was a treat. It was really cool. And then I saw him again last year with a 60-piece orchestra, which was awesome. One of the best shows I've ever been to.
How many accordions?
Just his.
Okay.
Just him. Yeah. I mean, I obviously could go on and on and on about this, but what do you think overall about this last decade? Like, how would you compare it?
I don't even know how to. Well, I didn't even get the full 90s decade. Like, I was a baby.
That's true.
So this is my first full decade.
As
so I don't even know what to compare it to. Like,
sure,
it was a great decade for me. I graduated high school in 2010. Went through college, got married, had a kid. Like, it was a huge decade for me. I mean, it was.
Well, obviously, a big decade for me as well. I had all three of my kids. Yeah. I built the YouTube channel. I mean, I started just on the cusp of this decade. For this, a lot of things have changed for me, just taste wise. I'm like a pet person now. I never used to care about dogs and cats. I have both at this point. Yeah, isn't that weird? I
overcame your cat allergy.
didn't know such a thing was possible. I no longer have a cat allergy. I can have a cat. Somebody let me know if you have this, because I have not met one person that has kicked a cat allergy. It's crazy. DJ, I've developed a love for biopics.
There you go.
That's the thing that I like now. Just a lot of things I never used to care for that I like now. I drink beer now. I didn't drink beer in the previous decade.
I guess that's what I'm starting in 2020.
You're gonna drink something. Yeah, cool.
That's the next decade. The Roaring 20s.
A lot more stuff that we could talk about with that. But a really interesting question.
Maybe a whole video there.
Absolutely. Honestly, I think we just made a whole video. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. This is from Noah O. He gives us $10.
Can I answer this real quick? Ginger Venom, what happened to your cat allergy, Captain Logan? I don't know. I had it, and then I didn't have it. I went to my mom's house a few times after she got a cat, and didn't have any problems there. And she always put her cat in the back room, so I thought maybe that was why. But like, no disrespect to my mother, but you can't possibly keep a house clean enough that I wouldn't still have that allergy flare up the way it used to be. It didn't matter what kind of cat it was. Everywhere I would go, if they had cats, I would sneeze real bad. My eyes would get real itchy and red and puffy and flare up, and it'd be bad for a couple hours even after I left. Then I didn't have any issue going to her house, so I got suspicious of it, and I started kicking around maybe like a hyperallergenic cat, because I really kind of wanted a cat, and I've always been sort of a cat person. And on a whim, Sarah and I, my wife and I, and the kids, we went to an animal shelter, and I was in a room of like 35 cats for 45 minutes, and I had no problem, so I got a cat. And I took it home, and it insisted on sleeping in my bed with me and my wife the entire night. Got up in the morning, no problems. I was asleep 8 hours with a cat, nothing. I've had the cat for a month. I don't know. I didn't know it was possible. Isn't that amazing?
You're evolving.
David says that my pet allergy was retcon. I didn't know it was possible.
I like it. Can you retcon other problems in your life? You should have retconned that kidney stuff.
I should have. Yeah, that's absolutely right. Yeah.
All right. We have a $10 super chat from Noah O. Thank you so much, man. Happy new decade, guys. What are your favorite and least favorite superhero or non-superhero movies of the decade? Well, I threw that caveat in there, so I guess that means anything.
Right. Okay, so
my favorite is sorry, I'm gonna finish. My favorite is Logan, and least favorite is Suicide Squad.
We will talk about this for a little bit. I really appreciate the super chat, and I don't want to just blow over it.
Yeah.
But both of those are videos that I will be making in the next month or two. Awesome. Yeah. So
so this may not be the answer, but this is just what we're thinking right now.
Yeah, and I don't want to go too far with it and play on my hand. But superhero movies. So I'm going to do a superhero rewind on Best of the Decade. That was one of the first rewinds I did in 2010. And then Connor and Rasco are actually going to be at my place this week. And Connor asked if we could do a top 10 movies of the decade. So I'm going to do one with him. I haven't talked to him about this yet, but I'm thinking if he's cool with it about making that non-superhero, because I'm doing a superhero video.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, yeah, Logan is absolutely going to be in there. I think for me, Wonder Woman is almost certainly going to be there.
Yeah, this is great. I was trying to pull up a list.
Yeah,
so I can.
I try to do all this without looking at anything, man. I try. It's hard, but what? But yeah,
first class stuff. First class is way up the top.
So I have First Class, but I'm not going to put it above Days of Future Past for myself, and that movie is probably absolutely going to have to be there. I'm hoping not too much of it is of the same ilk. Like a bunch of X-Men or a bunch of MCU or whatever. Yeah. But Winter Soldier absolutely has to be in there for me.
Yeah. Into the Spider-Verse for me.
Okay.
Huge.
I don't know if that'll make my list, but
we just said favorite. I don't know how many favorites we get to pick, but I'm just
sure. Yeah. We're just throwing out a few. Yeah. But then as far as other movies of the decade, that's the thing I would need a list for. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, yeah, that's hard to even.
So much stuff came out, and also a lot of stuff that I saw in the theater and never went back to. Like, I like Inception. Is it on my list? Like,
if we were picking a favorite of each year, that would probably be my favorite.
That would be the easiest way to do it, probably. Yeah. Somebody mentioned Mirror Story in the comments. I haven't seen that yet. It's on Netflix.
I really want to see that. Yeah, it's in our Netflix watch list right now.
Yeah, I should definitely take a look at that.
It's really hard.
Black Panther also is likely to be on my superhero list. But I don't know yet with some of them. Oh yeah, Creed would be on mine.
This is
Creed's excellent.
I don't even know. I don't even know what came.
You know, Annihilation is a movie I like a lot, but I don't know if that's actually on my list. So this is related to an earlier question, which is, was 2010s a good or bad decade? I don't know, but it was long. And it's weird because it feels short in some ways because I'm like, how are we already into 2020? But at the same time, as a decade, it feels like so much more happened than the previous decade. Some of that is the stage I am at life.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like,
but in pop culture, like you just look at superhero movies, right? And like we had 3 decades of history in 1 decade.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody can disagree with that.
I mean, how many came out in the 90s? Just Batman.
Yeah.
And 1 Blade.
And then the 2000s, I always talk about this, but like we talked about it like it was the onslaught and we didn't know what we were talking about. It's like, well, occasionally one comes out now, and it used to be that occasionally none ever came out. You know, it ever came out. So yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
He also did he asked least favorites. We should throw out a couple of those. He said Suicide Squad. I haven't seen that, but I'm sure it's on one of your least favorites, right? Oh, you didn't hate it.
Well, Suicide Squad at the time it came out was the best of the DCEU films. That's not saying anything. But there are certainly worse superhero movies than that. I would certainly.
For me, least favorite would be the 2 Deadpool movies.
I would certainly
over the coals for that.
Yeah, I would certainly put Glass in that list. I absolutely detested that movie. Brightburn was really bad. Just a couple things from this last year but I mean. Really, really bad things that I think are really up there.
Green Lantern was 11. We have to put Green Lantern.
Sure. Yeah,
that's terrible. And 4-stick.
Yeah, but that's kind of low hanging fruit. Yes. X-Men Origins was what 08 or 09 though, right? We're not in there yet. Right. Yeah.
I think we named a lot of the worst ones.
Xavier C, do you still talk to Vince? Yes, I do. Vince and I just did a commentary a couple weeks ago on Mask of Zorro, and it was not a commentary that I recorded weeks earlier before I stopped talking to him. No, Vince and I are still close. We still hang out some. We're both really busy. He's got a daughter. I don't see him nearly as much as I used to, but I try to see him every chance I get, and I've been trying to have him come back to the channel every now and again for commentaries. So. Yes, indeed.
I would probably say Ant-Man.
Batman and Harley Quinn. Yeah, absolutely. That was really bad.
Somebody said Rainbow Color Warrior just asked, what is the most meh/okay superhero film of the decade? Probably for me, Ant-Man and the Wasp.
That's up there for me too.
Well, I didn't hate it.
It's just a nothing movie. I didn't care.
I'm never gonna watch this again.
Yeah. No, I had that with I had that with Captain Marvel.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't hate it. I didn't hate that either. A lot of people did, but
I'm gonna have to really delve back into the decade. I mean, right now the more recent stuff, of course, is in my head. The second Ninja Turtles movie was really bad. The first one wasn't good either, but I mean that was.
The second one. I hate the first one so much.
It was rough. Yeah.
All right, TH1 gives us a super chat. Cap, blink 3 times if the welder has you trapped.
I did. If anybody was watching, that was why I blinked 3 times.
Okay. Yeah, that was
as soon as I saw that.
We're way behind on the super chat.
Weeks ago now. In fact, yeah.
You guys are great. We are so many super chats.
Thanks so much, and we haven't been counting, so I don't know.
I haven't been keeping track.
Yeah, I don't know where we're at.
We just got to the $50 super chat from Joseph.
Before you do that, though,
Reinhardt.
At the hour mark, can we try to figure that out?
I will.
Just see where we're at. So
I'll get you started on a question, then
everybody an update and see if you guys can keep me up for 24 hours.
Yeah. Joseph Reinhardt gives us $50. Thank you so much, man. I hope you're still listening. We're about to read your question. Hi, Cap and DJ.
Sorry it took so long. Somebody asked a couple of really vague but also complex and insightful questions. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's been great. Hi, Cap and DJ. I've been watching Geek Pollution for years now, almost since the beginning. I don't have a question. Just wanted to say thanks for providing great content for all these years.
My goodness, thank you so much.
Warms my little penguin heart.
Well, really, yeah. Thank you so much for the gift. I wish we could spend a lot of time talking about your super chat because you deserve it, but you didn't give us a question, so I can't. We're
just glad you enjoyed
that does my dinosaur proud. Look at this crazy sweater I've got, you guys.
He's wearing like an 80s jacket.
So much bizarre stuff going on here.
You can't even see everything that's happening under the frame here.
Yeah, it keeps going. It's a very weird shirt. I had to have this immediately when I found it.
He's wearing Morpheus glasses.
Yeah, that's right, because he doesn't have. See, look at him. He can make all these great Matrix references now. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, Joseph. That means a lot to me.
Know thyself.
Glad you're enjoying the question, enjoying the content. David Crabtree calls me out apparently, and I'm reading now for the first time. Hey, DJ, he says, why do you have to go instigating? I know. instigating arguments in the SSSS, that's Secret Superhero Screen Society. For those of you not in the know, that's our
First try.
Patreon exclusive Facebook group.
Yep.
So join Patreon and talk with us there. But he's about to bring up a story that happened there. There's 3 topics in life you don't discuss: politics, religion, and special effects. So someone shared a video on there, and it was a video about VFX artists, and all I said was that I really like the series, and I don't think VFX artists like get enough credit for the work they do. And then I come back to my phone later, and there's like 50 comments responding to mine, and they were like getting in a big argument about a respectful argument. It wasn't like they were hating each other, but he's just poking fun at it.
Yeah. Join the group. It's fun.
No, they were just respectfully debating.
Okay, so I haven't looked at it in a little while because we've been hanging out and stuff. But I thought so when you mentioned that, didn't you make a post that said something about how you get irritated when people say visual effects artists are lazy?
Oh no,
I thought that was the.
It wasn't my post. I left a comment on this post, and I did say that it drives me crazy when people say that VFX are the lazy way out. Not that VFX are so lazy.
Oh, you're right.
Taking that. It's like it's always, they always say that practical is always the better and harder way, and VFX is always lazy. But it's not true. Sometimes VFX is the right way to go.
No, that's true. But I have not heard all that many people actually make that argument. I think a lot of people just aren't articulating the argument. Because I make that argument a lot as well. More of what I hear, so what people will say is, oh, they shouldn't have used visual effects there. That was lazy. And I think, like when I say a thing like that, it's because a director or writer or producer wasn't thoughtful and creative enough to figure out a way to actually make a thing look good. So they just threw it at visual effects artists who couldn't possibly, with their time constraints and budget constraints, make the thing look good that should have been done practically. Yeah. And well, I don't know if you can argue with that. That happens all the time, right?
And if you listen to the series that you mentioned, it's on Corridor Digital. They do a VFX.
But that's not me saying don't. One of the things I get most impressed about is when I can't tell. Well, and find out later that it was a visual effects artist.
To be a visual effects artist, you can't. It's ridiculous. You have to have like a comprehensive understanding of like physics and the science of light and how it reacts to objects. You have to know everything about how cameras and lights work because you have to recreate it. Like you have to have so many different expertise in so many different fields. It's ridiculous. But if like you said, if the director is lazy and they just, like at the end of Black Panther, they just say, all right, we're just going to make all this in the computer and we're not going to give you any reference. We're not going to give you the lighting that you have to match. We're not going to shoot anything.
You guys just make
and
it
you
look
just
good.
have to do it. And of course it's going to look terrible. Like they need reference. They need to match the lighting that was on the day. They need to match the materials. So
I'm sure they were lazy. That's not what I'm saying.
No, they're working their butts off. And most VFX artists, it's like the most underpaid job in the industry because they'll undershoot everybody and then they'll add more time afterwards and they'll just like, and they won't pay it anymore. It's
well, really, and that's like assembly line work because you end up you end up needing like sometimes a couple 300 people, and you're not going to pay them all what they're. It's hard to get them all paid what they're worth.
Well, they'll have to they'll lowball the whole studio because the studios are competing to get jobs, and then they have to do it or else they won't.
Yeah, Daniel's totally right. He says CG artists don't get enough respect. They're just rushed these days, or things are just rushed. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, these Marvel movies come out in 2 years. Like that's crazy. We just watched Arrival. That movie looked beautiful. Like,
yeah, on $47 million, and look at look at Star Wars, where it's like we have to get this out by this date for some reason.
Yeah. David crashes at the CGI and pollution is second to none. Yeah, he's not even here. He's actually back in Kansas.
Isn't that amazing?
You just added him in.
When I die, the Captain Logan show will continue.
So you are okay with that? That's like a big thing. Did you hear about the movie that's starring?
No, I'm not okay with that at all. It drives me crazy.
There's a movie that's starring.
That was a joke. That's what we in the industry call a joke.
What is his name? The guy from Rebel Without a Cause.
Yeah.
James Dean. Yeah. They're making a movie starring him.
I know. It's nuts.
It's crazy. But Cap is okay with that.
I'm not okay with that. Don't do it.
Another super chat from Azim. Hey, Azim.
Hey, man.
Welcome. Happy New Year, guys. This is all caps. I don't want to shout, though, so I'm just going to read it with gusto.
I'm all caps all the time.
Happy New Year, guys. Thanks for making 2019 bearable. Oh, that means a lot, man.
Welcome. That's the nicest thing anybody ever said to me.
Well, when you're having those hard nights and you don't see, you can't see. I was gonna go
The light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, when you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, just tune into our shenanigans and ridiculousness.
Our unplanned nonsense.
If you guys get entertainment from us just acting like hooligans, then I'm glad.
Yeah, it puts me in a really cushy position. I really appreciate you guys.
It's really great. It's a lot of fun too. Oh, look at this. We got another $10 super chat from Gengar Venom. That's a cool name.
Yes. Yeah.
Gengar
Yeah. He's been around some.
Yeah, I think I messed up his name last time, so I'm glad I said it right.
I think I always say Ginger Venom, and it's not because there's an A in it.
I think it's Gengar.
Oh, that makes me feel dumb.
Gengar. He's a cool Pokemon. He's a ghost type. He's purple.
Yeah, sorry for butchering your name. That's way cooler than Ginger Venom.
I like that he picked two purple. Well, Venom's sometimes.
It's like, oh, Venom's got red hair.
Anyway, he says, what are some things you feel Gotham did better than Smallville?
Wow!
And vice versa. And he says, do you think a show with a focus on Gotham City and crime rather than Bruce Wayne's evolution was the best decision?
I think it was unfocused. Okay, so I'm going to try not to spend 6 hours on this question. Wow, that's good. That's cool. Stuff Gotham did better than Smallville, and stuff Smallville did better than Gotham. Wow. I wish I had more time to think about this.
I wish I had seen Gotham so I could help you out.
You guys are a really great answer. Now I want to just do a video essay on this because it's such a good question. So from the beginning, I think Gotham is relatively solid. It's weird. It's not exactly the direction I would have gone, and doing the whole, conspiracy killing Bruce's parents stuff was weird, but it had a gorgeous production design. Like, I guess from the beginning, it's a show that looks better than Smallville. Fox will probably also threw more money at it, so there's that. It had better acting caliber from the very beginning. So I think production-wise, that's immediately a better show. It also had Smallville to look at and to try to do better than, and then made many of the same mistakes that show did. But I think Smallville is a better show from the beginning, maybe, or at least premise-wise. This is hard. I don't know. They both have a lot of the same issues. Smallville from the beginning is weirdly a little bit of a more subtle show, and it doesn't want to try to do all the Superman stuff right away up front. I think it's better as a more character-focused thing. It's got a smaller cast. I think that's really smart from the beginning. It's not throwing a million things at you. It focuses on a couple of characters and really runs with them. I think it has a better sense of who its characters are from the beginning, going all the way through, even when they're inconsistently written. I think Gotham has that problem all the way through. It does not know who its Gordon is. It changes that constantly. It's a big problem. Smallville is a more focused thing all the way through, even when it changes its focus and makes massive weird mistakes. I think Gotham always knew how heightened and comic booky you want it to be. So tonally, I think Gotham has a one-up on Smallville because Smallville couldn't decide how much of a horror show it wanted to be. And I don't mean that as a slight against it. Like, as a horror show, I mean, how much of like horror movies it wanted to make in its show, versus being a kind of family drama. And Gotham right away knows that it wants to be a darker, more kind of black comedy thing to some degree, but then later can't decide how absurd it wants to be. So it always knows it's black comedy, but it doesn't know it's 60s Batman black comedy, and it doesn't figure that out until later. And then I wonder if it ever figures it out, and that just gets really weird and obnoxious. I think they are, at the end of the day, both really bizarre mixed bags that are very difficult to completely nail down. So yeah, those are a few things. I want to write about that. That's an excellent topic.
Cool. After you finish counting Crypto Freaks, you have to go counting Gotham Gangsters.
I thought about that. I don't know if anybody would watch that show. The thing is, Smallville was like popular, and Gotham pretended like it was popular. I can't tell how many people actually continue watching that show after the first couple seasons. Yeah. Okay, can we figure out where we're at as far as the super chats are?
Reading. I'll give you this question and I'll do that.
Okay, sure. And I'll just be as long-winded as I can be. Go ahead.
Well, I think you might be. Azim says, he gives us another $10 super chat. He says, perhaps the theme of the 24-hour stream should be a dozen discussions. 12 topics of interest. 12 topics of interest. 2 hours devoted to each.
2 hours.
Six of which, man, he thought this out. 6 of which selected by you, and 6 selected by viewers. Here, Mr. Rhino.
Okay, that's a really interesting idea. I do not think I can handle 24 hours of essentially lecture. I need to be able to be a little looser and do some goofy stuff. I don't think I mean, like maybe some of the topics would be like really fun and out there and stuff, but like, man, 2 full hours on a topic and trying to be coherent that entire time. I can't imagine doing that. I'm gonna need something visual, probably like a video game stream or something that I can react to. I can do a lot of Q&A. I don't imagine having enough people in the stream for 24 full hours to do nothing but Q&A for 24 hours, but that is the closest I would probably get to just like doing topics the whole time. I could do a variety show kind of thing where I do some kind of Geeks Not Nerds type stuff in the middle of it, maybe, but I don't know if I want to be that elaborate with it. So yeah,
we're at 143. We are close.
Goodness. Thank you guys so much for getting us so
close. So many super chats tonight.
It is looking more and more like the 24-hour stream is probably going to happen. Don't want to get my hopes up. If we don't get there, we don't get there. But thanks so much for trying, folks that have helped us try. We will be broadcasting for at least another hour. And how close are we to the new year where we are anyway? We are 40 minutes away. Okay, so we will do the whole raise a glass and freak out.
Even though our glasses are all empty.
Yeah. Well, we can take a quick break and go get some more alcohol.
Okay,
but
43 guys, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's absolutely amazing. Thank you guys a ton.
We haven't even got through all those yet.
Well, we'll work more on that. Does one of us want to go get drinks and like tag team this so we don't have an empty screen, or like how do you want to?
Yeah. Well, I want to talk to you about this real quick.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we got time. We got 40 minutes. We don't have to do it right now.
Yeah, we can do that in a minute.
Okay. All right.
I'll get you started on some good meaty topics, and I'll just he runs off, and I'll go grab stuff. Should we make the drinks here? I'll just bring the juices up, and we can make it here. Or should
I can show everybody how to do it.
Yeah, that could be something fun.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm worried about spilling all over your stuff, but I'll try not to.
Nah, you'll be fine.
I'm gonna do it on purpose, you guys.
My new microphone.
I'm gonna get it all over DJ's
I got for Christmas.
face.
And he's gonna dump vodka on it.
In his DJ face.
This is appropriate. Mr. Weeping Dalek gives us a $2.99 super chat. He says thoughts on the film 2001. So I'm going to go along with what I was talking about earlier. I love long boring films, and I love this film. And I watched it once by myself at night with like all the lights off.
You didn't fall asleep.
It was
amazing.
Amazing. I was just like riveted. And then I watched it with my wife. She said, "I'm never watching this movie again with you. It's terrible." Well, I shouldn't say it was terrible. She did not care for it. Especially, she loved the beginning part. Like everyone.
That is a love it or hate it kind of thing.
Well, she loved this. It's kind of a vignette film. It's kind of like the short thing in the beginning. It's not really.
So real quick, let me stop you for a second.
Yeah.
I have not watched 2001 all the way through since I was a kid.
Oh.
And I do not know it very well at all.
Well, there's the beginning.
And I need to sit down and spend time with it again because it's been forever and I wasn't into science fiction and films and stuff the way I am now. So yeah.
Okay, so there's the beginning with all the monkey men. And then there's the middle chunk that's like a narrative. That's like a story where they're like going to the moon and then they get on the ship and then the HAL, was it HAL 3000? HAL 9000? HAL, the robot, like tries to kill him and everything, and that's very interesting. And then it goes into like the crazy like psychedelic, like where you're looking at like a screensaver for like 10 minutes,
right?
And that's where I lost my wife. But I love the movie. That's
also where Starship Motion Picture loses everybody too. It does exactly that. That's where everybody gets lost. Yeah.
But we went to Best Buy the other day, and we're looking at movies, and there's amazing edition 4K of 2001, and I really wanted to get it. And I probably will with my birthday money, but I didn't get it that time. But that's cool that he asked that because we were just talking about that. But Cap's answer is he needs further research.
So I don't mean to call you out. Can I tell you about something real quick?
Sure.
So you have a brand new microphone. Just keep in mind that it's on the table.
Sorry,
and you keep smacking the table. Yeah,
I'm very excited about 2001.
You could be rocking people in their headphones. I don't know.
Sorry, guys. But yeah, great question. Thanks, Mr. Weeping Dalek. Good to see you here. John Ty has another question. Another super chat. When is a movie just a movie?
Was a spade. Yeah. I could make the pretentious argument that it never is. You know, I could say that. I don't think that's true. I always like to say that it's okay for a movie to be just a movie. It's all about what a story is trying to accomplish. And you know, I think intent matters, and I think also communicating that intent to an audience matters. So if you are trying to be a very deep, thoughtful film, I hope you're actually deep and thoughtful. And if you're trying to be just a very entertaining, so what I'm looking for,
Just a blockbuster, like a
yeah,
turn your brain off fun fest. I can't think of words tonight either.
Yeah, well, and I hate turn your brain off, right? Like that I have a hard time with. But like, if you escapist, if you just want to be an escapist film, that's also okay. So I guess the answer to that is when is a movie just a movie? When you break it down to its brass tacks and you say, this isn't trying to do anything but make me laugh or make me thrilled or put a bunch of, fun, action on screen or whatever. Or maybe there is a decent story there, but it's not trying to change hearts and minds or whatever. It's case by case, like everything. So I guess that's my answer to that.
Yeah.
Wow. Way to throw out a $2 super chat. That was
really, really good.
Yeah. Made me noodle.
It's all about intent, which you say all the time. So
I say it a lot. Yeah.
All right, we got another super chat. They just keep coming from Kristen Ogden. He says,
"Thank you so much."
What? I think it's a typo, but I'm gonna read it as it is. What a difference. Okay, never mind.
What a typo.
Sorry,
sentence, man.
Well, I was thrown off. What a difference. I thought it was a question, and then it said exclamation. What a difference 2 years makes. I can't believe DC is in a healthier state with its films and fans than Star Wars. That's a good point.
Yeah, apparently DC and Star Wars in movies right now are like DC and Marvel in comics. They're never both going to be good at the same time. Isn't that bizarre? DC and Marvel also, like in movies, I guess, don't have that problem so far, right? Like they can be good at the same time. I guess it depends on how you feel about MCU at the moment. I'm nervous about some of that in the direction that we might be going, but by and large, so far, and I like Endgame, and some people don't. It's not the best thing ever, but I like it. But I think we are in a place right now where both companies are making solid work in film, so that's exciting. But it is to actually talk about the what. It's insane.
It's crazy.
So remember how I said superhero movies? We had like 3 decades worth of history. It's like
feels like
reverse dog years with Star Wars.
Films. 5 films since Force Awakens came out.
Yeah,
2015.
You've had a decade of material with Star Wars, and you've had little enough time to turn a fan base against you on what you would think would take a decade, or to make people just feel very differently about the property. Yeah,
that's crazy. And it's crazy what DC did. I mean, they're still in a role, right? They had Aquaman or Wonder Woman, Aquaman.
No,
Justice League.
This all depends on now,
and then Shazam.
This depends on who we're talking about. Like, are we just talking about the money it made, or if the movies are actually good? Because obviously, some people hate Aquaman.
Well, I don't think he's talking about good because he's talking about fans of Star Wars.
I'm just talking about you personally. When you say they're on a roll, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, that it's popular and that they're doing well. I mean,
yeah, even if you hate Aquaman, I can follow it in a way I can't BVS, right? Like,
it's fun. And it's goofy as all get. Makes me laugh.
You know what? Aquaman is when a film is just a film. That's the answer to that question.
He doesn't care.
They are absolutely so far on a roll. By that definition. But I do not expect that.
Shazam is just as delightful, but I think it's a better film.
I think it is a better film.
Yeah, but that's a fun film. I've only seen it once.
I don't know which one I'd rather watch. Well, Aquaman's a little bloated.
Yeah,
and Shazam is tighter.
Yeah, Shazam makes me feel warm.
And anything that opens with John Glover in a car wreck is fine by me. But yeah,
I'd go Wonder Woman, Shazam, Aquaman.
That's not me saying that's not because I don't like John Glover. I don't mean that. I mean, like, I want him in a car wreck because I don't like John Glover. This is John Glover basically being Lionel Luthor again and in a car wreck, and it's wonderful. But the thing I'm concerned about, obviously, is that record will be broken.
He's just always by horrible fathers.
By Birds of Prey.
Oh, yeah. I have no idea how that's going to go. I mean, we could hate it, but it could be very popular. I don't know.
What if it's amazing? What if it's not what I want at all, but it just
I don't know if
is,
I have any
is a
interest
great
in
story.
seeing it. I haven't even
It
seen
just kills.
Suicide Squad yet. I don't know. It could be. It could. Yeah. It doesn't have to. It could not be what you want. It could be Harley Quinn centric, and it still could be awesome.
Of course, my feelings at the moment are hurt because all I wanted was a Birds of Prey movie.
Yeah.
And I'm getting a movie with a bunch of characters that I can't tell you which character they're supposed to be just by looking at them on a poster, and that's kind of rough for me.
Did you watch the trailer?
There's a new one. I don't know.
No, I just mean any trailer.
Oh yeah, I have, and I had the same thing there. It was like I don't know who I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Well, and nobody's on screen for more than 2 seconds because they're selling it like a Harley Quinn movie, regardless of whatever it ends up being. Of course, her name is in the subtitle, and it probably should be in the main title if it's what it looks like.
Unfortunately, as much as we all might hate that, it's probably the smart way to market that movie.
Yeah.
Which, kind of a bummer.
What else we got?
We got TH1 $5 super chat. Is Ryan Reynolds the new Adam Sandler?
No, absolutely
not. Have
you
seen the new Jumanji? Okay, that's a totally different direction. You want me to just go ahead and read it, and we'll talk about both?
It's 2 different questions. Yeah.
Have you seen the new Jumanji? If so, thoughts? And what are you looking forward to and hesitant for in 2020? You rock. Oh,
okay,
cool.
Lots of stuff. All right. So
he was very efficient with his $5 super chat.
Rapid fire. Ryan Reynolds is not the new Adam Sandler. That's an odd thing to say, I think. I mean, if you just mean like he's the way Adam Sandler once was, well, okay, maybe so, in that he's got that kind of level of popularity.
That his movies sell on him. Like, that's the Adam Sandler.
One of the top comedic actors. And yeah, I can kind of see that. Now the question is, are his movies that aren't Deadpool doing as well as Deadpool? Because I haven't looked at numbers of other things he's put out.
Have you heard about this? He has an Oscar-worthy performance this year.
Oh, really?
Adam Sandler.
Oh, Adam Sandler. No, I had heard about that. I thought we were talking about. Yeah, I heard about that.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm so interested to see that.
Yeah, I will watch that.
I have no interest in the movie. It's like a heist, or not even a heist
it's
movie. It's just like a crime drama. But I'm interested to see.
It's just I'm so sick of that guy phoning it in, and I don't think he's funny. And that if he actually turned in a good performance, I have to see it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Absolutely. But no, that's interesting. Have you seen the new Jumanji? I haven't had time. I want to review that. We should have gone and seen it.
I love Danny DeVito, but I think he's only in it for like 5 minutes, probably in the beginning before they go in the game. Probably. The
sense I get is that because they got those actors, they used them more. There is a trailer that makes it seem like they're around more. I'm not sure if he shows up in the game. I don't know, but I think they might.
I assume they would be like the kids in the first one where they're just there and then they go in the
I know, but there's a trailer that makes it seem like they get more screen time in that, but I've not seen it yet, so I don't know. But I do want to see it. I like that first movie a lot, and I was afraid that sequel would be really rehashy. But it looks like there's potential of places to go, and I'm hearing good things. So I will definitely take a look at it, but I'm going to be real late on it if I review it at all. I might have to wait till video because I just don't know when I'm going to get to it. But I do want to do that. And then we're looking forward to and hesitant for in 2020. Big hesitation, as I said earlier, is Birds of Prey. That's my biggest hesitation.
Looking forward to, we said that, I don't know if it's in this video, but Dune.
Venom 2, I also must say, would be pretty hesitant. I think that's supposed to come out this next year, isn't it?
I don't know.
I think that's later in the year. Like
the fact that we know so much about it at this point, probably.
Yeah.
We'll do hesitant first. Hesitant. I'll say this: hesitant and looking forward to. I have a both.
Sure.
Mulan. Mulan is my favorite Disney film.
Mulan, I'm not remotely hesitant about. I think that's gonna be great.
I know. But part of me, a small part of me, because it's my favorite Disney film, that I'm a little bummed that it's not musical, because I love musicals.
I'm not at all bummed about that. I'm so glad they're doing it that way with it.
And so very bummed about that.
You're really wrong about that. B,
I disagree, sir. I love it.
Mulan has a couple of
is a fantastic song. Make a Man of You. I once started at my lunch table at school, and we all joined in chorus, and it was fantastic. Such a great song.
It is, but there are other Disney movies that have a fully excellent soundtrack all the way through. I think it has a couple of misstep songs. I don't think that entire soundtrack is great.
Well, I wouldn't do the song where they're singing about a girl with fighting for.
Yeah, and that's a dumb song. But I'm also, I'm just glad that we took like the purest form of what that is and translated it to live action, or at least that's what it looks like we're doing. If you're gonna remake Mulan as a live action thing, it ought to be just a straight up samurai film. But it looks like they're taking it really, really seriously.
Yeah, but it's based on a fairy tale, so I don't need it to be serious.
That's exciting.
It's based on a Chinese fairy tale, so I would like it to have some fantasy with a dragon and stuff.
But I also don't want it to just be the same thing again. And a lot of these things have been that, but like didn't understand the material or try to add too much that it didn't need, or like Aladdin was such a mess. It's awful. And like Beauty and the Beast I liked because they were thoughtful about some of the story elements they added, and they fleshed out some things that just made the whole thing make more sense. And everything with the furniture people was so much better fleshed out, and I liked them all more. It also had some new added songs that were really crappy. And that's the thing is, all of these that I've seen anyway have had new songs that were terrible. And by not having a musical, I don't have to worry about that. So I'm excited about that.
I'm telling you, I'm really excited about this movie. This is my second most
one is everything I want if it's what it looks like. Yeah,
it's my second most anticipated movie here. It's Dune, and then Mulan is right after it. I'm just saying, it's just like because it's my favorite. I miss those things. But I'm gonna love it. I know I am, because and I'm with you. I want them to be different things. Jungle Book and Cinderella are both very different from the originals, and are both way better.
So you say that because I haven't seen Cinderella, but Eric said, "Man, Cinderella, like I've seen this before." Like that was his review.
It's so much better. I watched the animated movie after, and it's just mice for like 30 minutes. Like
that's
none of that is in the movie. And
maybe Eric just hadn't seen that in so long he forgot what was in it.
Yeah,
I had never seen stuff that they cut out.
I was like, it's like mice, and then they crammed Cinderella in like the last 10 minutes. But this one actually,
those parts are boring.
But most anticipated, Dune, Wonder Woman. We're both super excited.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I don't know what else is coming
out. I think Tenet. I still haven't seen that trailer. I need to do that. Bond looks potentially great.
Bond, yeah.
As does Black Widow.
What else is coming out, guys? Let us know. Oh, Top Gun. I don't have any affiliation. I don't know anything about that. But
yeah, I can't get excited about that myself. I think it's weird to go back and do that movie, but I will see it, and hopefully it's good. Top Gun's one of my wife's favorite films, so I will definitely be taking her to that.
Yeah. Great question. That was good. We got all the stuff right. Okay. I just want to make sure we covered everything. Another one from 55, 90 years is what we're calling him. Have you read Immortal Hulk?
He still won't tell us how to pronounce it. I haven't, so I can't really speak to that. Sorry.
Yeah,
that one I've not looked at.
Wasn't that the one that Dan was really into, or was that?
I think maybe for a while, but I forget. Yeah, the only Hulk one I really sink my teeth into was back during Marvel Now. This was years ago now, of course, the Jason Aaron run, and it fell off, but it was great at the beginning. But I'm not a Hulk guy, so I got to hear great things before I even take a look. And I have heard good things about Immortal Hulk, but I just not a Hulk guy, so I haven't prioritized it.
Yeah, I really like Hulk too, but I haven't read any Hulk comics.
Okay, we're about half an hour away. We're 25 minutes away. Should we go ahead and maybe take a break and make these drinks work? Or
yeah, sure. I'll bring you the stuff up and let me get you started. I'll go to a pre-written. How about that? We'll do a pre-written.
Actually, would you give me like 2 minutes?
Oh, sure. You got to go.
Yeah. Is that okay? Well, and then you can go.
This will be perfect
because
the
drink thing happen.
The next super chat
is for you.
Putting me out on a stake for everyone to throw things.
That's really fun. Okay. Well, you enjoy doing that.
You know I don't like these movies, and and everyone in the world does.
You don't like Dark Knight?
Well, he just dropped it right out there. I guess I have to read it now.
I mean, it's there. You don't like Dark Knight?
I don't.
I didn't know that. Just as a movie?
At all. I had the same thing with that you had with Dark Knight Rises. I've watched it like 8 times because I have to. Because I have to like this. Everybody likes this. Kept watching it.
Don't like Fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're gonna miss my. I'll talk about it.
No, I'm sorry. No, it's cool. Just give me a couple minutes. All right?
Yeah, sure.
I'll be right back.
I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna talk about this. All right, guys, don't kill me. Gengar Venom gives me a $2 super chat to basically throw me under the bus accidentally because he doesn't know about this. But we were talking about long, boring films earlier, and he says DJ loves long, boring films. So The Dark Knight versus Dark Knight Rises, which is what he says. I don't know what he means by that. I don't know. I guess he means which one's better. Dark Knight is definitely better, obviously. I like it way more than Dark Knight Rises. But I am also not a big fan of The Dark Knight. I like Batman Begins a lot more. Batman Begins is like my favorite Batman movie, one of my favorite superhero movies. The Dark Knight is great. It's a great movie. I understand why everyone else likes it. It's just not my thing. I get really bored with like crime drama stuff, and I know that's why it's so great. But I get really bored with that kind of stuff. It's also really dark and depressing, which is, I don't usually like dark, depressing movies. But it's a great movie, and it's definitely better than Dark Knight Rises. If that's what you were asking, if you were just asking which one was better, I would say The Dark Knight is way better than Dark Knight Rises, and I probably didn't have to throw myself under the bus like that. I could have just answered that and been done with it. But I also will stand by my tastes, and that's just a taste issue. It's not a bad movie. It's a great movie. I just
knowing your taste, I'm not surprised by that.
I don't like crime drama stuff. I basically fall asleep when people start pulling out guns and shooting them, and it's also a lot darker and more gruesome than I like to go to. So, but it's a great movie.
Well, obviously, Begins has its crime drama elements, but it's got the martial arts ninja side of it, which probably helps keep you interested.
Yeah, Batman Begins. That's what I said. It's one of my favorite superhero films. It's my favorite Batman film, and it's awesome. I actually love Batman Begins, and I was upset. It's also more heightened. I like a more heightened universe.
That's true.
Dark Knight went straight for just like streets and stuff. So
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean that like with Begins, that whole city was built in a giant warehouse.
Awesome. I love the style of Gotham in that one.
Yeah, it's stylistic, and then suddenly it just looks like a city.
Yeah. So once if you guys,
I don't like that about
you've got Dark Knight more. I like stylistic stuff.
Yeah, sure.
I like hiding things. I like fantasy, and I like that's what I love about Batman Begins. And ironically, Dark Knight Rises gets back to some of that, but it's just
it doesn't.
It just doesn't work.
Doesn't work. Yeah. The thing with Begins and Dark Knight for me is even though like this is where I can understand you a little bit. I think Dark Knight is brilliant, but Begins is the one I go back to, and like I'm so rewatchable. Yeah, and it's weird because it's an origin film, and it's very origin-y, and it shouldn't be rewatchable, but it is. You know, it's like oh, let's watch this guy become Batman. God, okay, I gotta wait 45 minutes before he's Batman. I love it every time. And Dark Knight, I don't go back and rewatch a whole lot. I mean, I have seen it several times, but Begins, coming up on the number of times I've seen The Matrix. I think like I've seen it a lot.
Yeah, it's great. And so for me, the series goes downhill each time, but I know for most people, some people it even goes up each time. Some people love Dark Knight Rises, so it's a great trilogy if for a lot of people. But I like Batman Begins. You didn't even ask me that, but
do you want to go ahead and get drinks and then
I'll run down. I'll give you a pre-written, and then I'll run down and get the stuff.
I will stall.
All right. Cinemographic,
I'm good at that.
Asks us, just curious, what should the aesthetic difference be between Metropolis, Coast City, and Central City? Sorry, this
I can't stretch that. Let me do that real quick.
Come on.
I'm not. And also, she wouldn't have an opinion about this.
Let's see. Well, Coast City should be a coastal city. So it should be harbors.
Okay, can I say can I say this? Central City should not be a coastal city.
Is it in something?
In Flash, yeah. It is clear. Yeah, in the first couple episodes, you can tell that there's like ocean, and it's called Central City, and you would have thought it would be in like the Midwest, right? No, yeah, Central City should be like a Kansas City or like a I don't know, any big city in the Midwest.
People are being really nice to
Chicago
me
or something
about my Dark Knight opinions. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, like no, you're entitled to your opinion. It's fine, BJ.
I expected to be lambasted.
But yeah, I don't know. I think Central City should be like Chicago, and Coast City should be like California or something. Yeah. And Metropolis should be the lighter side of New York. Yeah.
Metropolis should be the big, Metropolis. That's literally what it means. Yeah. Let me get you started on another one. Balin, son of Funden, says, do you think about Cats probably losing at least 71 million in...
Says, what do you think? Why don't you just read a normal voice and start from the first word?
I was going for my...
What do you think about
Balin, son of Funden?
Okay, let me just read the damn question, okay? What do you think about Cats probably losing at least $71 million and Madripoor appearing in Falcon and Winter Soldier? I hadn't heard about Madripoor. I don't know hardly anything about that, so I can't talk about that. That's not a thing I know much about, so I'll have to look into it, and that's just not a character I know. Cats losing a lot of money is not surprising. A lot of people were, of course, turned off by the trailer and thought that looked insane. It also went up too close to Star Wars. And even though Star Wars lost a huge percentage in the first 2 weekends, I think it was like I read, and I don't know if this is the right now. I read that it dropped like 70%. But the Star Wars dropping 71% of its viewership into the second week is still probably too much for cats. So I'm not surprised that happened. There was also a lot of, and I don't know how many people knew this and how much of this was people not going to theater, but there was a lot of buzz around that movie apparently not being finished with visual effects. There was a rumor or a report, I don't know how true this is, that the director was putting finishing touches on it at literally the 11th hour, the day before it went into theaters. And you couldn't have done this a couple of decades ago because we didn't release things digitally. But now that they're digital, I guess you can do this. I guess up until the first theater shows it, you can still be monkeying with it. It was being monkeyed with. And now apparently there's supposed to be a second cut of that movie going out in the theater. I don't know if this is unprecedented. I've never heard of this happening, where you have a movie that is currently in the theater and people aren't liking it, so we change it and try to make it look better visual effects wise, and then put a different version of it out in the theater to replace it. I don't know if that's ever happened. It's crazy that's happening. I kind of want to see it now just because it sounds like such a wild, crazy, flaming wreck. And I want to see if it is possible that I go into an 8% on Rotten Tomatoes movie and end up liking it more than anybody else did. I probably won't. That material in the first place doesn't necessarily interest me, and I've always heard that it's just bizarre and awful. And I don't like a lot of the soundtrack of that I've heard. So there's nothing to bring me there except for the cast and the weirdness of the production around it. So at this point, I don't know. It's weird. It's a train car on fire. That makes me want to go more. So DJ just walked in with a massive amount of drink stuff. See, I wasn't sure that was the smartest move. Let's go bring half your kitchen up here. It's not actually half his kitchen. It looks more like my kitchen because there's so much pineapple. Okay, so it looks like we're gonna do. It looks like we're gonna do science.
You got pineapple juice, cranberry, orange juice, and the mango pineapple vodka.
Never done anything like this on camera. This is gonna be great. So here comes an on
Jeffrey's
the spot.
here.
Here comes an on the spot. What do you call that? Snack Volution.
Snack Volution.
Okay, so this is a little watered down, but I gotta drink that.
Check it. Get it empty. That does not reflect on the drink itself.
Yeah. Well, I hope
so
not.
This is a Cap original. You originated this.
I did.
You didn't get this from anywhere.
No, I didn't.
It might exist, but you didn't discover it.
Yeah, I mean, it's similar to a lot of things. I've been told that it's a little bit like what is that drink? There's a drink that's a little bit like I can't remember what it is.
Tell us in the comments.
Yeah. So anyway, here cinematographer, are you guys upstairs? We are. We're upstairs.
We are upstairs. We're in my home.
I don't know why that's.
This is the playroom. Is that enough ice for mine?
Yeah, that's actually more than you need. So. I want to think that are you upstairs is code for. Are you guys basement dwellers?
We are upstairs. We are not in the basement.
I
don't hang around with basement dwellers.
Have I addressed that on camera yet? And how weird that is?
I think you left a comment about it.
I did, but can I talk about it for a second? Because it's so funny to me. All right, thanks, man. It's my show. I was going to do it anyway, but thanks for your permission.
Hey, I don't know why you ask.
Here's
if you're going to ask, I'm going to give you an answer.
Well, I just want to make sure you're on board. I don't want you to just get up midstream. You know what? Screw it. I'm done.
I'm going to run this through that stuff. I got a minute.
So I'll make these here in a second. So I just want to leave this up here as long as I can.
Actually, we don't have to. I mean, it's only 30 minutes left.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, it's not gonna go bad.
My juice.
It's gonna get warmer, but that's not a big deal. So people keep throwing out this joke or criticism or something. I think some people are joking and some people, I don't know what it is, saying since I announced my move and the bunker, I've had people say, Cap, you're a basement dweller now. And I'm like, well, first of all, you've only ever seen me in a basement. Like the 7 years that I was in that house before, it was, well, I don't ever, like before that, it wasn't a basement because I was in an apartment.
I remember the apartment with the posters on the wall behind you.
Yeah. But for 7 years, I was in a basement, and I never once got the basement dweller comment. And then I mentioned the bunker. It's like, "Do you guys think the Bat Cave wasn't subterranean? The Bat Cave." And then it's, oh, he said bunker. That sounds like a basement. That sounds subterranean. Subterranean. He's a basement dweller. And then, and this is the thing that some people pointed out in the comment I made about this on YouTube, where I was like, I don't understand the basement dweller comment. I've been in a basement. And somebody else said, well, several people said this. Well, yeah, and also, he owns the house. So, like, usually saying somebody is a basement dweller is like insulting them for like living with their parents or something. And I own the house. Even if I did live in the basement, it's my prerogative. I own the house. I just think it's really funny, and I don't understand that. Okay, so let's make what I am calling a Sumerian sunset. So we begin with usually half a glass of orange juice, but I'm going to do a little bit less because we couldn't find pineapple orange juice. Oh, wait, no. This is the orange juice.
This is orange juice.
All right. So we start with a little bit of orange juice. If you can find pineapple orange juice, you want to start with that and do half a glass of that. But because I don't have orange pineapple juice, I have to go with orange juice and pineapple juice, which is why you saw 4 things on the screen. So next, and I already told everybody how to do this, but now you'll get to see it. So then the next thing we do is we put some pineapple in this to make that half the glass. And yes, I eyeball this entirely. I'm not giving you specific proportions because that's the way I roll. And it comes out really close to the same every time. Okay, and then the next thing we're going to do, see, DJ is about accuracy. I'm about feelings. Okay.
He's just going to go for it. He's going to.
Here comes the mango pineapple vodka. You don't have to use this, but I'm discovering it's delicious and
Sedka?
Kind of the best thing. Svedka. Well, it's vodka, so it's got to be Russian.
Russian. Yeah. We should have the Russian Batman pop like that.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, so what did you say? What did you think it was?
I thought it was Arctic Batman.
It's Arctic Batman. I'm like, no, he's from Red Sun. Okay, so then you're gonna put in just a couple of shots of vodka, just to taste, however much alcohol you want, or tipsy you want to get. And then, if you're working on tipsiness, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put about half of the amount that we did here, so about a quarter of a glass.
I should be following your steps.
Of cranberry juice. It doesn't have to be diet, but his wife picked up diet on accident.
Yeah, well,
but it tastes fine.
The store was pretty empty because everyone else bought all the juices. So
that's right.
If you're going to go out and do this, don't wait until like 7 o'clock on a New Year's Eve to get all the ingredients.
Jeffrey said salt and pepper vodka to taste. So the next thing you want to do is put in the vodka, put it in the cranberry juice. Again, cran pineapple, if you can find it. We could not, but there is enough pineapple in this that it's so close enough to the same drink. Try to make everything pineapple if you can. And then what we do is we put in, like I said, about a quarter. Make sure you don't put any more than that, or you're not going to get the cool layerness of this drink. So this is what it looks like if you do it right.
So the vodka is what separates them. That's why you put the vodka in third.
That's right. Well, that's what I think is happening. I've always put the vodka in second, and I haven't tried it not that way. So I'm assuming that that's why, or part of why, and that it tastes better that way. But I don't know. Don't mix it up. It tastes better if you just leave it like this. Mm-hmm. And David says, is there going to be alcohol in this alcoholic drink? We just put in the vodka. He's doing vodka right now. There's vodka. Okay. All right, I'm gonna sound drunk before I drink all that much. All right, here we go. Unfortunately, there's no way to translate taste over camera. Let's show the vodka again. People miss that and are asking what kind of vodka it is. Just when you get a chance.
I think I poured it too hard there.
It's a little too hard. Yeah, got a little bit mixed up. So you got the yellow just at the bottom there.
Oh, that's how I like it. I like my sunsets mostly pink. A little bit yellow.
Pink sunset. Yeah.
So that is the vodka.
Svedka. Also, if you can't freeze this, it's tasty or frozen, or not frozen, but really cold. Okay, where are we on the new year here? It looks like 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Now, I'm in the Eastern time zone. Usually, I'm in the Central time zone, and if that were the case,
how you like my time zone?
It's fine. It's pretty cool. It's a lot like mine. It's just an hour ahead. It's real close. It's kind of like my time zone. Yeah. Also, I'm already used to your time zone because I have to think in it every time I have co-hosts. All my co-hosts seem to always come from
East Coast.
East Coast. Yes, indeed. Okay. Why don't we figure out an update on the super chats and see how close we are to the goal? Because we've only got About 20 minutes left. If we only broadcast for 2 hours, we'll probably go maybe a little bit longer than that.
All right, let me get caught up on that. I will give you a pre-written. It worked well last time. From Wanderer, Cap, how do you feel about Superman revealing his identity to the world not long after that it was already written out of continuity not that long ago? So apparently happened again.
Okay, so I'm not keeping up with Superman comics right now because I was not liking what Bendis was doing, so I am out of the loop. So did he out himself again? I mean, it's a bad idea because we're always going to go back to continuity on that. I'm not saying you can't tell a cool isolated story about that. Maybe Bendis is finally trying to do that. Maybe it is that way. I haven't read it, so I don't know. But yeah, pretty close to the last time he did it, and that sounds like a gimmicky thing to do. And it seems like he's kind of playing Superman's greatest gimmicky hits. But I haven't read it, so I can't speak to it, so I don't know. Okay, we should clink glasses real quick. We should do that, yeah.
Well, we have to wait for news.
Well, I know, but
We
we're
have 8
drinking.
minutes.
But we're drinking. Oh, okay.
We'll do it in 8 minutes.
Okay. All right. This glass doesn't want to be dinged.
Don't ding me.
Ding
Ding
ding ding ding ding ding ding ding ding ding
Okay.
ding 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 ding.
I'll just give you a moment to talk about this while I figure this out because I can't remember where I stopped last time when I was counting so much stuff from the beginning. I'm not sure you've heard, but a crisis is coming to Geekvolution.
Mm-hmm.
So from David Crabtree, and it won't take 5 episodes. That's 5 episodes, really?
It's 5 episodes, yeah.
How many? And only 3 aired. You have to wait for the other 2.
So far, and then the 15th, they're doing the last 2 in one night. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, that's cool. I want to say
he's.
No, I want to say he's referring to the follow-up Geekvolution board game he's making that he's sending. And
That's
I'll play that.
Stuff of that.
I'll play that on camera on Patreon probably.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, carry on.
Well, he gives me. One of his super chats is for me specifically. He also, man, David Crabtree's just doing a bunch. He says, binged the Harley Quinn animated show this week.
Oh, carry on.
Planned on watching the first episode. Craziness usually turns me off, but this show has me hooked. Harley Quinn.
No, not craziness, crassness.
Oh, sorry.
That's a very crass show.
Crassness.
I don't know what you're doing watching Harley Quinn if you want craziness.
It kind of works.
It's pretty crass. I'm liking it anyway. I think it's getting solid to potentially great. After 4 episodes, and I talked about it somewhat at length with Dan's News on the most recent episode of Batmosphere. So check that out. We will probably do a full season spoiler cast when it's over, even though we've already talked about it quite a bit. But I think it's pretty clever. I think the writing is better than it has any right to be, and most importantly, in a not pretentious or self-indulgent way, it does not seem to care if anyone is watching, and I really appreciate that about it. I think DJ is now doing math.
I am counting, so please keep talking.
Find out how the math goes. I just didn't have anything else to say about that. I wanted to play something, but I just can't get it to the place where I want it to play.
Are you doing ding, 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 ding?
I was No, I was gonna play the crazy Lex Luthor theme from that movie. I don't recognize this part. I was just looking for the bomb. Yeah, man, that's crazy. I gotta rig that up somewhere. I can just play it anytime. Seems like the right time to do that. Dan Liu, who do you think?
We're at 150 right now. Sorry, we haven't got much since we did it last.
Oh, okay, good to know. Okay, so we're at 150.
Yes.
So we have about, again, if we capped it off at 2 hours, we would have 20 minutes to get to 200 to get that last 50 in. We may go a little bit longer than that, but if you want to make sure that I do a crazy 24-hour stream, you can help to get us there, and that is much appreciated. Okay, so somebody asked if somebody asked what my most evil rendition. Dan Liu, what is the most evil rendition of the Joker? Evil. Good question. I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to think who absolutely takes the cake at the end of the day. Is it Alan Moore? Is it Killing Joke? Does that count as the most evil? And it's pretty darn sadistic. What he's doing there. I think both Morrison and Snyder have Joker do some really horrifying, sadistic things? It's a good question.
Cool. Is that just a written?
It was, yeah.
Cool.
I was killing time.
So David Crabtree gives us another one. He says, "Hey DJ, favorite Jim Dwight prank? For me, it's a toss-up between Jim impersonating Dwight and Asian Jim." Yes, those are both good ones. I wish I had. I haven't watched through The Office. I usually watch through it every once a year. I haven't watched through it in a while. I like the funnier, the kind of physical ones a little bit.
I like the ones I find amusing.
We just watched the Christmas episodes, all the Christmas episodes this year. I usually do that for Christmas. And the one where he wraps his desk in his chair, or he looks like he wraps his desk in his chair, but there's actually nothing there, and he sits down. That's a good one. Mega Desk is a good one. The Wire is a good one. The Telephone Wire one. I don't know. There's a lot of good ones. I have to think about that. I'll get back to you, David Crabtree. I'll hit you up. I'll send you a personal message. I have not thought about that in a while. Gengar Venom.
Yeah.
Gives us a super chat.
Thank you.
Says, should Lex be a psychopath or more relatable?
That's a great question. I think it is possible for him to start in a not psychopathic place and get there, and for it to be really interesting. I think that's my favorite Lex. I think it's what you get with Smallville. I don't think it completely sticks the landing with that. We're not going to talk about the finale. But even before that, I think it is more light switchy than they think it is. But I think he can turn into a nut job and early on, if not think that he is doing the right thing or being a good person, at least being being someone who thinks that he deserves to be, the man on top, and that he's better than everybody else. So I don't know. I don't know if I need Lex to be relatable. I need to know. I mean, this is true of pretty much everybody. I need to know how he got the way he got, certainly. But she's certainly, of course, kind of by definition, not as interesting if he's just a psychopath in the first place. We just got a big super chat from Jeffrey.
Oh, sweet. $25, Jeffrey. Thanks, man. That'll get us up to 177.
Oh, is there another $2 that we can get in before? Yeah, that's right. One, yeah. You hadn't put that one in. Okay. Thanks, Jeffrey. It's awesome of you, man.
That's really cool. He says, always appreciate the channel. We'll hopefully make it out to KC again next year / this year. Cheers all.
Good, I sure hope so. And I don't know if the UAB Giants is touring right now, or they're not right now, but if they're going to next year. But hopefully, if they do, you and I can go to a show again. That was awesome. Jeffrey's great. We sure appreciate you as well. And thanks so much for hanging out with me a few weeks ago, taking care of DJ's job, and also for hanging out with us on Captain Logan After Dark. And I hope you do it again in the not too distant future. We love Jeffrey. Jeffrey's the best. I'm what tear up.
We drink to you, Jeffrey. 11:59.
11:59.
There it is.
Here we go. One of my least favorite Voyager episodes. All right.
Here we go.
Just a few seconds. Now, I know for some of you guys, New Year already happened. For some of you, it's going to be a little while before it does.
That's true. Well,
that's
East
how it
Coast
works.
is the best time. So
if
that's when they drop the real ball.
It's always based on the East Coast anyway. Yeah, a lot of people celebrate it then, regardless. But yeah, if I was at home right now, I would still have an hour. Kids, one just puts in a $5 super chat. Yeah. Well, let's hold off on that for just a second, because by our clocks, it is now midnight. Happy New Year, sir.
Happy New Year.
Yes, indeed. 2020. It is just absolutely insane to me that is already 2020. I can't get my mind around it. It feels like the future.
The fireworks are going crazy behind us right now.
Listen to all that.
Don't know if you can hear that.
It means a lot to me that you guys all are hanging out with us tonight, and
spending your
close to 50.
50 people here with us. That's
really,
amazing.
really neat of you guys. Just spending your precious time at the New Year with us, and at the very end of a decade. It just makes me all warm and fuzzy.
I'm glad I'm a part of this. This is really cool. I just joined the channel this year. We started more for me at the end of last year.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, I guess in 2 years.
And so you've been a regular since then.
But I didn't join the Captain Logan show until the summer.
Yeah. So you've been on staff since what? May, June.
Yeah, 6 or 7 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's been fantastic, and the channel is much better for it, certainly. Let me say that. No, it absolutely is. Absolutely it is. And again, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you bringing me out here, man. Oh, that's crazy. We should open the window out. Yeah, that's awesome. We got fireworks behind us. We couldn't have planned this.
I don't know if that's going to give a glare.
There's a glare with the lights, but that's okay. It's worth it.
You can see them a little bit.
Isn't that crazy?
That's awesome.
Yeah, well, watch there not be one more.
No.
That's right.
That was the grand finale.
Just won't even. No, there it is. It's awesome.
That's awesome.
How cool is that? What are the odds? What are the odds of
that? Is that just someone in their own house? Because those are big ones.
I hope it's not in their house.
Okay. Shooting straight out the
John Ty, $5 super chat. We're getting ever so close to the.
Everyone's saying Happy New Year. Thanks.
Happy New Year's to you guys. Yeah.
They're not there. I don't know why I'm waving there. That's where the chat is.
Thanks, guys. It is. We're getting very close to the insane 24-hour live stream. Again, don't know what I'm going to do for 24 hours, but I'm going to hang out with you guys for 24 hours if we get there. John Ty, $5 super chat.
And another one from Gengar Venom. He's been killing it tonight. Thanks,
Have you seen the animated movie Justice League Crisis on Two Earths? Yes, and I'm glad you brought that up because okay, it's not currently on my short list. I kind of forgot about that, putting together my calendar for next year, which I've been working on, but I may go in and try to change that and get it in there because that is a movie I've been really wanting to go back to. It's the first movie that Eric and I disagreed on. When that came out, I didn't like it, and Eric thought it was pretty good. And I've been wanting to go back to it since then with, more comic knowledge and more Crisis things. And shortly after the CW Crisis would be a good time to do it. So thanks for reminding me of that. Yeah, I remember not caring for it. And it's been years, so I can't entirely tell you why. I mean, I thought it was a little bit, it's a little bloated. It's another one of those movies that opens with, if memory serves, a big action scene that I didn't think it really needed, and it didn't get enough work done. But I remember the animation in that being pretty good. There's just something about the story I didn't care for, and I don't remember now. So I'm gonna have to revisit it. I can't really speak to it real hard now.
Cool. It's good that you brought it up for you, though. And then we also got one from If You Get, this is from TH1. He says, if you get the chance, you should watch the Kim Possible episode. The Fearless Ferret, Adam West gets guest stars, and it has a lot of 60s.
Oh, really? I didn't know about that. That's really cool. Obviously, Adam West did a lot of voiceover work in a lot of different cartoons, and I don't know if he is. I thought he was in several of those, but I don't know who because I never watched Kim Possible. So maybe that was just a one-off thing. But people have asked me to do some of those movies because Kim Possible is kind of a super. I don't know if that actually counts. I have to go back and look at it or I have to go look at it because I've never watched it.
She's got some secret agent-y.
I thought she was more of an agent. Yeah,
I don't think she's like.
Did you grow up on that?
No, I haven't seen much of it at all. I've just
that was your era though, right?
A little bit of Disney Channel. Well, I didn't have Disney Channel growing up, but
I'm just saying like that was around when you were a kid.
I think so,
right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Because like that's after my time.
Yeah,
is what I'm saying. That was
I believe that was your
era.
2000s. I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Somebody earlier, I didn't get a chance to bring this up, and I don't know who it was, so forgive me for that. But somebody said I should look at the superhero episodes of South Park and that they're worth rewinds.
Wow.
And I don't know how much. I didn't realize how much apparent superhero material that show had. I know that they did that game that came out that was supposed to be a big parody of superhero everything, and it looked like kind of another big Crisis thing making fun of comic events.
Okay, so here we go. We're getting some clarification. Daniel Davis says it's not. She's a super spy.
What was that? The Separate But Whole, I think was what that was called. Just in a musing,
TH1 says, yeah, it's more secret agent, but it does have a lot of superhero crossovers. So.
Okay, cool. Neat.
Cool. All right, we are at 190. We're so close.
My goodness, $10 away.
Gengar Venom gets another $5.
Me not getting any sleep.
He says 1 decade.
Oh, the fractured. That's what it was. The fractured. But right. Yep. I have almost bought that a couple times. Just because it seems like
something you would like.
No, but it's a superhero thing, and it might be people might think it's fun for me to talk about it.
You would probably there'd be a lot of references in there for you.
Yeah,
it would just be like some stuff that you're not.
But I'm watching the Harley Quinn show, so like I'm primed for that kind of thing at the moment.
2020 Cap would probably like the game. 2009 Cap would not have liked the game.
2010 Cap is pretentious and can't handle blood, and is still on the fence about whether or not he can even get all the way through plate. So
that's true.
Remember that? Remember that whole thing? Yeah.
That's
Am I desensitized, or was I held back too much? I don't know. Well, that's not fair. I don't throw my parents under the bus. I got to see some, radar things and stuff when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It's not like,
but it's a physical thing. It's not like you actually get sick. It's not like
not with blood. I'm just kind of.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I just didn't like it. I just didn't want to look at it, I guess. But I mean, no.
There are some things that you can't look at.
The stomach thing is more about like vomit and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's in a lot of movies too, unfortunately.
Yes, it is, and I don't like vomit on screen.
It was in both of the movies we watched last night, but they're both great movies.
I'm getting more to the point where I can handle it just because it's in so much stuff, but like I don't like it.
I just like it when they do
drove
it
me
tastefully.
insane in District 9.
Oh, I didn't even see
which
that.
is a movie I dislike for other
Like
reasons.
they just run to the trash or the toilet and you don't see it. Like
I will take up for the Neo one in one way, and that
is green.
And that is to say that the man has never eaten. So the concoction they come up with for what he would throw up is kind of realistic looking. That's all I'll throw at it. Yeah. Like, it's not like I want to see that.
Yeah, more of that, please. Okay.
Look, I'm drinking. Okay.
All right. So back to Gengar Venom. He says 1 decade of devolution! Exclamation point.
Isn't that nuts?
It's crazy.
Isn't that insane? I've been doing this for that long. Can I just say? I'm sorry. I know you're gonna finish that.
Yeah.
That super chat, and thank you so much, Gengar Venom. But I just want to say, you guys have kept this going, and I could not be happier. And it's so cool. Like, if I didn't have the community and I didn't have folks that for whatever reason cared about what I had to say, I would go find something else to do. It's important to remember that I didn't start this as a career. I started as a hobby. It was a little strategic. I was kind of hoping to maybe build a base to sell novels to.
Yeah, you opened up about that.
But like, I was also just enjoying the review thing. I wanted to get into the review game. I thought it would be fun to do, and I had been doing that for blogging, blogging for a while, and I never intended
analyzing fiction
in college, exactly, and I just did not expect it to turn into what I did. The bread and butter. And if we hadn't consistently grown month after month, year after year, sometimes slowly, but we've always had growth. We've never stagnated. As far as the sub count goes, and
we never dropped. We never had like a mass exodus.
No, we've never had that, and it's amazing to me, and it's really just been me and some other folks I know experimenting, throwing stuff at the wall, and trying things. And you guys have allowed us to do that, and we've been able to be raw and polished at the same time with different kinds of things. I've been trying a lot of stuff, and I sometimes wonder why anybody cares and why people watch us. But I keep doing it because I love it, and because you guys are so much fun to interact with, and you guys have kept it going.
Yeah, and it's awesome. I mean, I've only been here a year, and it's been so much fun. It's really good. Could you imagine going back and talking to college Cap and telling him in the middle of a workshop that this is what you're going to be doing for a living?
Yeah, this is how you're going to use your degree. You're gonna analyze story in superhero films, and you're not going to work in the public at all, and for 10 years you're not going to be building any kind of a regular resume, and if you ever have to go back to work again, you may not be able to get a job.
Bunker dweller. That's awesome, man. That's really exciting. And he closes that super chat with just saying, keep being awesome and keep counting those crypto freaks.
It's coming back. I'm going to do it again really soon. That's all I'll say about that. Well, you know what? Earlier I mentioned New Year's resolutions. I'd like to talk about a couple of New Year's resolutions.
I would like to segue right into this, if you don't mind talking about this.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
T-Edge1 just says, when is Food USA coming?
Okay, so that book has changed titles like 95 times. It's back to what it originally started as. So I wrote a book, for those of you that don't know, 3 years ago now, DJ, called The Edible States of America. And Edible States was a passion project of mine because I came up with what I thought was a really fun concept that sounded impossible to write, and I had to try it. And it is, don't press the end stream button, that'd be really bad.
That'd be great. I was
It
thinking about
started-
the screen share. I was actually.
I think I'm gonna take this mouse away from you. No, it started as just this wacky idea, and it turned into the darkest and kind of most serious thing I've ever written. It is really satirical, and it's got a lot of goofy components to it. But it is about the entire United States turning into the people of the United States turning into walking and talking junk food, and what that does to the culture. Just imagine what that would do to the culture. And it's about food. It's about how we eat. It's about the food industry. It's about it's about people and why we don't get along, and when we did. And anyway, it's about a lot of different things. And it's not a straight up standard novel. It is a written history of this world over a couple of years. And I finished it a long time ago. I did a full rewrite on it, full revision on it about a year ago.
Mhm.
And I am currently working on an audiobook version of it. And it will be coming out in the not too distant future. I can't give you a particular date on it, but I'm getting there. I'm working hard on that. And I will tell you that the audiobook version is going to come out before the print version. And I'm going to make that available to you guys so you can listen to me read the whole book if you want to hear it that way. And if you want to wait on the print, that will come out shortly thereafter.
Yeah, no rewards for readers here.
I'm not ready to give a specific date yet, but I will tell you that I am working on that, and that's how I'm going to do it. Okay, New Year's resolution. Oh, and DJ designed the cover, and it's beautiful.
Yes, so that was actually one of the first things we did. I don't know if you remember that.
Together, yeah,
that was our first project. We did like a random couple of videos, and then we started Morphin Mania, but I think we started before Morphin Mania. Yeah, definitely.
Isn't that wild? Yeah.
I was working on. I did the cover for the book. I did the whole layout for the inside, laid everything out, did some chapter headers, and it was.
I promise you, we're actually going to release it.
No, it's really cool. I can't wait for you guys
you.
to see it. There's so many references. Because I actually got to read the book. Kat was nice enough to let me read it. I think I was the second person.
Second or third
Lexi read
person
it first.
Yes.
But then I got to read it in its entirety, and it was awesome. And I really enjoyed it, and I got kind of hooked on it for a while.
Oh, thanks, man.
And I was just excited to design for it. So it was really cool. Glad I got to work on that with you. And I'm glad it's finally coming out. I've condensed the cover into a thumbnail version of the cover, so that's going to be the video that you'll see. I'm sure I can put that on Patreon, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so you might see it. So it'll be the video. It'll be the video on Patreon.
So I was going to mention that. Yeah, it's not a big deal. He's giving this away now, but it is. No, that's fine. It's fine. We're actually going to post an announcement about this shortly before we get it up. So you're going to hear some of this again.
Yes.
No, don't worry about it. But it is the way we're going to make it available is on Patreon. So it's not going to cost you extra if you're already on Patreon. I'm going to do it at just the $2 tier. So it's going to be very inexpensive to listen to. I kind of just want to get it out there. And
yeah, guys. I mean, $2, just $2, and then you can listen to a whole book. I think that's a pretty good deal.
I just want to let people get to look at it.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome, and I recommend it. It's a great book. Definitely check it out.
Well, thanks, man. I hate to hype it up too much because I'm very nervous about the reaction to it. But
if you want to hear Kat write about some dark stuff and some hilarious stuff,
it's out.
It's got everything.
It's out there. Yeah. so I'm excited, and I'm excited to get back to writing. Finally getting this out, I'm gonna feel better about getting to another novel, which I want to do shortly. I don't want to talk about that yet, but DJ knows what I have in mind.
Yes.
I have some other stuff in mind too, but I think that's still a project I'm gonna start with next, DJ.
Yeah, some stuff we've been talking about this week.
And if you do the cover for that, you're gonna have fun things to draw.
That would be that's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great.
All right, I'm gonna pop over here because we got.
Am I doing a 24-hour stream at this point?
You absolutely are.
Okay.
We surpassed it.
Right.
It's happening.
I'm already tired just thinking about that.
Mr. Abado must have just joined us because he said Cap and DJ together. This is a super chat. He says Cap and DJ together in the same room. What next? So yeah,
pushing DJ out of an airplane. I think
out of the window
is the next thing. Would you skydive? Would you do it?
Only
could I ride to you?
Red
or
Hot
you
Chili
drive to
Peppers
me?
were playing in the background, and I had a snowboard strapped to my feet, and I was wearing multicolored
Well, you
suits
can
with five other Power Ranger people.
You are so athletic.
So
I would think
here's the thing.
You're not scared of heights.
I'm not scared of heights. I don't do drops.
Okay.
I can't do roller coasters. I hate them. I don't like the feeling that you get in your stomach. I can't
Yeah.
do like Fear Falls. Like what's the one in California? It's Guardians of the Galaxy now, but it used to be
I
Tower
know,
of Terror.
Tower of Terror, yeah.
Can't do the drops, but I have heard, and I guess I can ask you.
There's one in at a Worlds of Fun in Kansas City called the Detonator that does the same thing. Yeah.
Since you've done it, is it that feeling the whole way down, that drop in your stomach?
Mm-mm.
That's what I've heard.
No, it's not.
I've heard that. There's a possibility, because I've heard that the reason you have that feeling is because on a roller coaster you're going from complete stop to super fast, and that's what it is. But since you're in a plane, you're already traveling really fast, and you jump out, it doesn't happen.
It's the same feeling as diving, but just a lot longer.
So you don't get that like drop like from a roller coaster the whole time. Okay, see, that's what I was expecting. I feel like I'm just falling.
The hard part about it for me was air, because it was so windy that day. I couldn't catch a breath.
Wow.
And that made it really, really hard. I don't know if I probably told you this, but they grounded the plane immediately after we jumped.
It was that windy.
It was that windy. It was almost too dangerous for us to go. They probably shouldn't have let us go. And I spent the entire way down with the parachute open, recovering from the free fall. And I've always wanted to do it again because it hurt, and I want to do it right.
Yeah.
Like I enjoyed a lot of things about it.
You trying to get me to do it?
Absolutely.
Oh man.
Yeah. What I'm asking is, would you do it for me, DJ? That's what I'm asking.
Man,
dude, I also had kids, but I completely understand that argument. And if your wife didn't like the idea, you immediately have to shut it down. Because that's what happened with me and Sarah. I was like, if you're not comfortable with this, I'm not going to do it. And she was a little iffy, but she told me to do it, so I did it.
I mean, I know it's super safe. I know it happens every day, and it's not.
And like, yeah, if there was a death, you would probably hear about it. You know what I mean? Like it happens so rarely.
And there's a backup chute and everything. And
and the first time you go, you have to go tandem, so you're with a professional.
So
like they won't let you go by yourself. You can't screw it up. Yeah. But I'll throw this out there. If we, for some kind of milestone or something, wanted to do some other crazy thing I've not thought of, but you might because you're more into athletics, I would be willing to try something else. I don't know what that is. But if you can think of something, skiing, snowboarding, I mean, like I would try something. So we can talk about it.
Already did that.
You're going to have to physically force me to flip. I cannot make myself do it.
I've never done indoor skydiving. I've done that.
No, it looked lame.
It's way harder than it looks. Like you think you could just do this and
that's
float,
a selling point.
And you just fall. It's really hard. It's not as simple. But yeah, that's
Azim wants me to get you on After Dark. You were actually supposed to make it on the last After Dark.
Captain Logan After Dark.
Captain Logan After Dark, yeah. But you had a party to go to that night. You just weren't able to make the show.
Yeah, my office Christmas party was that night, and I had to go to that.
And you just had forgotten about it, and so you weren't able to do either show that night. But we will do that soon. You'll be on one of those
next 2 weeks from now, right?
Yeah,
the next one. Yeah, I'll definitely. I'm not avoiding it. It's just been a really busy end of the year, like it always is.
David wants me to put on a padded suit and have you beat me up.
I could do that. That's an idea.
I have not agreed to this.
All right, we got the last 3 super chats.
I'm not doing a giant
super
wheel.
Super chats. Last 3 super chats. Super tats. You could get a tattoo for 50,000.
Okay, so I'm seriously considering it. This is something I've been thinking.
We're dropping all kinds of stuff here.
Yeah, I have been thinking about it, and that would be maybe the next crazy thing after skydiving. Because I've never thought about I've never come up with like the really crazy thing. I don't know if you would want to do that. I don't know if you're a tattoo person, and I'm not, but I've thought about it. I have a couple of really cool ideas for what I would do if I got one.
Oh, interesting. Like geeky related or
Do you want to know?
Do the G logo?
That's a cool idea. I didn't even think of that. Can you imagine
the Avengers? The Avengers all got the A after the 10 years, right?
Can you imagine you design a thing that I put permanently on my body? That would be amazing.
I would put that on my resume.
Yeah. That's a weird thing on a resume. Okay, so I've mentioned this in other places, but I've modified one, so I want to mention it again. So one idea I've had, but this would take several sessions and would probably hurt like the dickens. I have thought about doing the Velociraptor opening a door from Jurassic Park. That's one that I always thought would look really cool. I'm not going to do this now, but the first tattoo I ever thought of was get the moon from the tick with a bite taken out of it.
Oh.
That was a thought. Another idea that I had, and this is one I'm leaning more toward, but now I'm thinking about it differently. I was thinking about getting the word captain written out vertically in Kryptonian symbols.
I thought you were going to say Klingon.
No, Kryptonian symbols.
That'd be pretty cool. From Smallville.
Yes.
The standard, yeah.
But now I'm thinking it might be cooler to do it with my wife's name.
Oh, because everyone gets, yeah. That's
do Sarah in Kryptonian symbols. It's also less letters.
Yeah.
And then if I ever decided to get more tattoos, I could do it with my kids.
Oh.
And just have like Kryptonian symbols on different parts of my body, but with my kids' names. Nobody would know what it was, and until they asked. That seems like kind of a cool idea.
You just get a big one right here on your chest.
No, I don't want to get the. I don't want to emblazon the symbol that Jor-El forces into Clark in season 3. I don't want to do that.
I think we're good. I just texted my wife, "Can I go skydiving?" She says, "Sure."
Sure. I would think that would be a longer conversation, and that you wouldn't necessarily want to do that over text. But you know what I thought she was going to say? By the way, DJ's wife is awesome. I've been getting to know her over the last couple of days, and she's a lot of fun. And you know what I thought she was going to say?
No,
because she can be a little sarcastic.
In a good way.
No. I mean, like, yeah. No, I love. Sorry, I love DJ's wife. She's awesome. I thought she was going to say like right now.
Yeah. The sunset's getting to me. I'm going
Let's go skydiving right now
in the dark.
Let's go get tattoos, dude. The G is tempting.
Dude, you gotta
That's
let me find
wild notion.
Because I'm never sathatisfied with my work, and I just always keep tweaking it.
And it would be
permanent
forever.
I can never change it.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
That'd be more nerve-wracking for me than you probably.
Okay, so we are 10 minutes over 2 hours. We have passed the goal, I think. There are a few super chats we haven't gotten to yet.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and knock those out.
This one first.
We'll probably call it night here in a little bit.
I have all 3 of these, so nobody. I'm not.
Oh, David asked if it would be the orange G or a purple G. That's a good question.
That's a good question. Maybe just black. Maybe just black.
Or if it's a color, probably purple. But
because for the publishing company, it was black.
Yeah.
So.
Whatever. But I'm sort of purple for whatever reason.
Yeah, I don't know if that would fade well. I don't know.
Yeah, it might. Yeah.
But anyway, what do you think of Tom King as a writer? This is from John Ty. This is $2.
A lot of people have been asking me this lately. I don't feel super comfortable answering this question because I've read Batman and not much else, and I haven't read all of Batman. And I think I stopped somewhere in the 60s and started seeing, I think, why a lot of people aren't liking his run. So that is such a weird mixed bag. I want to read more of the seminal things that people think are great from Tom King, like his Vision. I've not done that yet. But I don't know. I think he relies a little bit too much on repetition sometimes. I think he has a wonderful sense of symmetry. I really like a lot of the bookending stuff that he does. I like the way he calls back to things, and he was trying to build like a real run with his Batman. And just with that character, I'll say I really love his take on Batman, and his Batman is kind of my Batman. So I love a lot of things conceptually about stuff he does, and I like his dialogue writing quite a bit. But I do think that he can get a little bit too repetitious, and he can get a little bit too hung up on or caught up in an idea that he just kind of won't let die. But he does still have what is quickly becoming my favorite single issue of Batman ever. With that, like, even if the whole run ends up being awful by the end, I don't care. Like, it's not going to ruin that issue. The date night issue, where Bruce and Selena go out to a carnival on a date with Catwoman with Lois and Clark, and it's I tear up every time I read it. It's so good. But anyway,
cool. And then we've got 2 others. We've got one from David Crabtree. Cap Geekvolution got me into reading comics.
Hey, thanks,
which got me into comic art, which got me into rediscovering my love.
I didn't realize you weren't reading comics before the channel. Wow.
Yeah, which got him into rediscovering his love for drawing and illustration after years of not drawing a single line. So I thank you.
Well, that's really cool, man.
That is really cool. I feel like this channel got a lot of us into a lot of things, and
I'm told that
for the better. So.
It's I want to say it's humbling. I don't ever know what to say about a thing like that. I can say that it was never my intent to be inspirational or anything.
Well, you failed, sir. You're very inspirational.
I don't know, it makes me feel good when I hear that, and if I can be a positive influence at all, I'm sure glad.
Cool. And it's here's we got the last super chat of the night. At this point, so far, from Azine, he says it's kind of eerie seeing you guys reflected in the window behind you. It's kind of poltergeisty.
Yeah, it's true.
You
yeah,
close it. I don't think I've seen any fireworks.
Don't go into the light. But if you see towels, you're probably the one in the closet.
I only know that reference because you've made it before.
One thing that's weird about meeting a person in person
is that
you've that's watched you for a long time and that
I had to wear pants
with on the channel.
I'm actually wearing pants on this show tonight because he's here.
Yeah, I haven't worn pants in 10 years. No, I'm kidding. And but one thing that's weird is you can't tell that person anything new. Like I'm constantly qualifying everything. Okay, you've probably heard this before, but because
I heard my relationship. I heard the cat story 3 times this week.
Well, there's just different people in the room.
I know. Well, now all of you are in the room, so it was perfect.
I never know what to do with it. Like there's a weird dynamic that I have with a person like DJ, and especially DJ, because DJ has been watching the channel since like almost the beginning. And I have an annoyingly photographic memory for things that I don't need to remember. Yes. So he brings up stuff I said 9 years ago that I forgot all about or don't remember at all, and I just got to take his word for it. And we become friends, and we work together on the channel, and it's really weird when somebody knows you so well, but you're getting to know them, you know, in the first place. That's really interesting. And just this sort of like, I don't know, I like that we have a community. I don't like to think of it as like a guy making stuff at you guys and you guys are fans of it, but like a guy who was a fan of the channel, who I'm now just like hanging out with and friends with and kind of buddies with. It's just, it feels funky in my brain because I still don't understand why anybody watches me, you know? And so I don't know. It's a neat phenomenon, and it's really, I don't know. I've got so many of my best friends now, just from this channel. Yeah. Great. Yeah, Dan, Eric, you. I'm one of your best friends. Well, I don't know. I forgot you said best. I forgot about that. Vince and I, of course. Oh, did I say that? Oh, yeah, you're like, my best. Vince. Well, it's getting late. I'm getting, you know, I'm drinking. You know, whatever. It's a glass of wine and 2 sunsets in. Well, I gotta finish this. Oh, there we go. All right. The rest of his question was, are you? Oh, we're not done. Are you aware of the upcoming Netflix Dracula series from the creators of Sherlock? I've not heard about that, but that's cool. It looks cool. I saw the trailer. You watched a trailer? It was like in a movie theater or something, and it was for. I was trapped. I couldn't leave. But it's pretty gruesome. Like obviously it's Dracula. There's a lot of blood everywhere. I don't know if you can handle it. You know, it's no blade. but no, it looks interesting. I love Sherlock. Sherlock's one of my favorite shows. I don't know if people watch that. I've never watched past the first one. First series or the first episode? I can't remember if I watched the whole series. It's 3 episodes. The whole season even, yeah. I just can't remember. It's been so long. Yeah. I really like the first season and the third season, second season. Well, at least he warned us this time. About who? What? Look at we got a super chat from David Crabtree. Super chat, yeah. Time for some Dave humor. Yeah, at least he warned us this time. He's coined it his own humor. Yeah, Dave. Yeah, it's gonna be a Daveism. We never called you Dave before. Okay, good. I think it's kind of playing off dad humor. I don't know. I came across a couple scarecrows yelling at each other. Man, I hate a straw man argument. Yeah, again, at least he warned us this time. Thanks. I appreciate that actually, because sometimes I think I'm going to get something that I want to read. Or you think it's going to be really juicy, where you're like, "Oh my god, he's yeah." Well, he does it on purpose. He's going to take a battle axe at me, and then yeah, he sets it up like it's some, going to be a big argument. But that was nice. Time for some Dave humor. No, season 4 of Sherlock was terrible. I want to do a. I've never seen it. I haven't seen season 4 yet. I don't know why I've been putting it off. I want to do. I've been thinking about this for a while. One of my kind of off the cuff monologues. I did one on Superman the other day that had a lot of really good discussion going on in the comments. I saw that one, yeah. Just about Superman in general. I want to. Well, it was specifically about whether or not he's hard to write and why that might be. And I enjoy making videos like that. I mean, it's pretty much like this show, but just one topic, and just me in a room, just me and the viewer.
Yeah.
And it's like those things could be written, and I sometimes consider sitting down and writing them, but it's also kind of fun to do them raw. And I kind of want to do more stuff like that because the ones I've done lately, people have seemed to really enjoy. And what I've been thinking about doing is about that phenomenon. The idea that most really good TV shows inevitably get bad.
Yeah, we just talked about this week.
How come that keeps happening? And I kind of want to do a video on that.
That's interesting. Yeah, we just talked about this week. That's why me personally, I've stopped getting into TV shows because I've been let down so many times.
And I also want to do. I need to write this down. I also want to do one now on that Gotham Smallville thing. I think there's absolutely a video there.
Also, and how it's harder when a TV show gets bad to go back to the first ones without thinking of it, but for movies, it's easier. Like you can watch The Matrix without thinking of.
Somebody mentioned that in
really
maybe it was Secret Society today. The question like when does a bad sequel make it hard to watch the first movie? I think there's an old After Dark on that, or After Dark. I think there's an old Geeks on Nerds on that very topic, maybe. I feel like I've done that before, but I think that's, as most things, a depends question, because it depends on whether or not it is a straight up series or not, right? So if you have, like I said, The Matrix stands on its own, but if you have a thing that starts as, like, let's say, this is just a random example. Let's say you loved the Harry Potter movies, but you thought the last one was bad. That's going to kind of taint that whole series, or maybe taint that whole series to some degree, because it is a sprawling, ongoing narrative.
Yeah, which makes more sense why it would be that way with TV too.
Exactly. So when you say it's like that with movies, it's like that with traditional movies. But in this day and age, we start things very often hoping for a franchise. But there are exceptions to that. If John Wick has a really crappy movie, that first movie is still very much a movie. And so I don't think it would necessarily ruin it. So it just depends on what we're talking about. But you're right, with TV shows, with the exception of TV shows that have a really solid first season that absolutely stands on its own and it's easy to forget anything that comes after it. Sometimes that happens. Like Heroes, I can still go back to the first season, but I don't care about any of the rest of that show. But it was done. Like I didn't need any more of that show. It didn't need. So
that was part of the problem.
Yeah, so that is a serialized thing. It's not episodic, but season to season, or at least that first season, is closer to episodic.
How cool
as a season? You see what I'm saying?
How cool would it have been if
like an anthology season?
Yeah, if Heroes had come out,
and
now,
Heroes was supposed to be an
anthology.
It would
definitely be an anthology at this time.
And it was supposed to be. That was originally.
How cool would it be to have an original superhero story each year?
Yeah, with a totally different cast. Yeah, it'd be great. But it would suck after season 2.
They even had a relaunch.
Because that always happens, right?
They even had a Heroes relaunch.
And it was awful. Yeah. Yeah, that's what they should have done with that. I think more people might have watched it if it wasn't any of the characters you'd heard of.
Yeah.
But the problem is at that point in that series, everything is so convoluted, it would be really difficult to just do a new story that had nothing to do with those characters. That was the difficulty there.
How do we start that conversation? Oh, sure.
Yeah.
So do we want to close with resolutions, whether personal or about the channel?
Absolutely, because I was going to say that like 20 minutes ago, and then I didn't get to that. So,
I was trying to get us back on track.
Yeah, thank you so
That's my other
much.
job. I do designs, moderate questions, and get us back on track.
I think he does more of the work than I do, to be perfectly honest with you. Okay, so DJ, what are your New Year's resolutions, sir? Oh, okay.
So like, I said earlier,
you want to do this segment? I got nothing for it.
You get us rolling, and then I will chip in when I can.
I have a 2 years.
I don't have any like succinct ones. They're just kind of concepts.
I have a 2 years long resolution.
Oh.
I am going to finish Crypto Freaks in 2 years.
Have you announced that yet?
No. This is
so many announcements in this video. We should call this New Year's / Geek Pollution announcements.
Yeah, it'd be really funny too if announcement videos have made in the past. It's like a 2.5 hour video, and I write please watch. I'm not gonna do that.
It'd be really good if we could do timestamps on this one, but it's like 2.5 hour video. We're gonna watch through the whole.
I've been thinking about maybe reaching out and trying to find somebody that might be willing to do timestamps for videos like this for us.
Yeah, well, it would be good to find someone who doesn't watch live.
Do something cool for them.
And as they watch through for the first time, they could just mark the timestamps.
Yeah.
Because if you watch live, then you'd have to watch it twice to do that. So
yeah,
let us know if anyone's interested in that. That would be a big help.
It sure would. Reach out.
Otherwise, it's another job I got to do.
and I'm not paying him enough, so he just doesn't want to do it. Okay, so Crypto Freaks in 2 years. This is not me promising that will happen. This is just me saying that's what I'm working on. That's what I'm hoping to do. This is insane, but the 20th anniversary of that show is in 2021. So in 2 years, and I would like to have it done for the anniversary. So I'm not going to try to finish it all this year, mostly because that would be insane. I'm only halfway through season 3. But also, it will feel more relevant finally. We've rolled over now to near relevancy with Smallville, where 20th anniversary, more people might care. So I'm going to try to finish it through 2021. That is, for the channel, my biggest one. I've got other stuff, channel-wise as well. I'm hoping to blow through most of the current requests for Rewind, because I have several of them. And I have a calendar set up, and I'm hoping to stick to that. I'm going to do as many as I can get done this year. But those are the two big ones, at least channel-wise.
Channel-wise.
Yeah.
I mean, channel-wise, I would like to get the book, the print book, finished sometime this year if we could.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's feasible or not. But, I would like to.
I mean, that's the plan right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to keep. I've got a couple things I got to design for you coming up here soon. I don't know if there's any big design projects, but I would like to.
At the moment.
Yeah. I would like to keep doing those. The rewinds, the new style, and I go back and do some of those other ones.
Yeah, we gotta get some of those knocked out.
Yeah, but what about just in life? What do you think?
Just in life. I don't know. Do you have anything?
I want to be more. I want to be more. I guess I don't know how to put it. I want to make more memories this year with my family. Last couple of years.
Oh, okay,
like
sure.
we talked about, I've been really focused on getting ducks in a row and planning for the future and retirement and getting budgeting and saving, getting all my student loan debts paid off and getting debt free and buying a house.
Yeah.
Buying a house this year. And but I just want to live more with them, spend more time with them, and with my wife and my son, and just do some memories. We're going to go on some trips. Just live life a little bit more. Instead of being so uptight and I don't know, stop planning for the future and start living in the now. So not really like a resolution, but that I can like keep track of, but just something I want to be more like this year.
Yeah, just in general, like self-improvement.
Yeah, just making an effort to
that
do
kind
that
of thing.
every
Yeah,
day, which I've already started in December. And, keep that going. Yeah.
I guess the big one for me is I gotta read more books. I just have not been able to make myself, because I'm just so busy with other stuff, and I feel rusty on a lot of stuff, and so that, and this is not exactly channel related. This is sort of more of a personal thing. But I don't know if I'll finish a novel this year, but I gotta start one, man. Like I just gotta get back to writing. So I don't know. A lot of it for me is kind of professional, but yeah.
We got a super chat from David Crabtree.
Yeah.
Spoiler for Cap: after a bit of hiatus, Jumping Through Hoops will be finished in full by February. I'm excited for this. Oh, that was the thing he did with you.
Yeah, he's been working on a short Batman comic that he's using for his art portfolio, and I wrote the script for it, and he's been working on that on and off for a long time. So it'd be cool to finally see that done.
Yeah, he's been posting some of those in the SSSS. If you guys are interested.
Catherine Hall, please do more Counting Crypto Freaks. It's what first brought me to your channel. Although I don't think you could do it in 2 years. Wouldn't that be more than one a week? Well, yeah, you can do math. I was hoping maybe people couldn't do math, but that is the math. Yes, it would be more than one a week, and that is the plan. That's what I'm going to be working on. I don't know if I can do it, but I'm definitely going to try. I'm going to be focusing on it harder than some other things. Like I said, I have plans for Rewind, so don't get too freaked out there. But it's I'm putting off other projects in order to finish that. I got to do some stuff one at a time. So I am still planning on finally going back and rebooting Batman Year, but yeah, I got to finish Crypto Freaks before I can get real heavy into that. I hate to wait 2 years on that, but it's just that I've been doing that since 2011 off and on, and I just want it done. So I gotta get back to it and get rolling on it. And I get enough requests for that. And it was also doing a lot better than Batman Year did. view count wise. So more people seemed interested in that, but I still really want to do Batman here. So I don't know. It's just too many things at once, and I got 3 kids now. And
Speaking of that, it's something we want to bring back in some capacity this year.
yeah,
Maybe not finish this year, but at least bring back some more from Mania.
yeah, absolutely.
We've been so talking Power Rangers so much this week, and we even started watching a little bit, and it got us back in the mood.
I know.
So,
I miss it. We were playing the fighting game. We were watching some Sentai, and we were just like, we sucks not talking about this. And it felt really weird watching a Sentai and not doing a commentary on it. We're like, we could be doing that.
It was a great episode that we just randomly picked.
Yeah.
But yeah, some way, somehow, we would like to bring that back this year, even if it's just a little bit, like once in a while, or something like that.
Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed the Geekvolution New Year's Spectacular. I hope it was spectacular. And we are, I'm going to do a 24-hour stream, apparently. And I want to thank you guys for getting us there. That's amazing. You guys are so wonderful. Thank you so much. And I'm going to try to make it worth your while as much as I can with a really cool 24-hour stream. Send suggestions if there's anything that you would like to see me try to do on that. If you have any really cool ideas for something I can do for 24 hours or something that would be just cool to do in that, I could maybe turn it into, like I said, more of a variety show. I'm not exactly what I'm doing yet. I may play some video games. I may do some commentaries. I may do a little bit of everything. It might just be me no, I won't do that. I was gonna say it might just be sitting around reading comics, but that's not what it's gonna be. I am going to interact with you guys and talk to you guys. Absolutely. So yeah. Wow, he's been reading comics for 12 hours. That's amazing. So anyway, that is so you guys are fantastic. Thanks so much for helping me get there and doing that. And maybe DJ will show up for part of that.
I'll pop in. I'll try to. Whatever, depending on what it is.
Well, you have 24 hours anywhere in that. So yeah, there's that, and what else? Well, just thanks for being here. It's crazy that you guys spent your New Year's with us, and we sure appreciate it. And now we're gonna get going and finish our drinks, and bid you guys farewell.
Yeah,
DJ,
to another great year.
Yeah,
hope you guys stay with us.
Do you have anything left?
Yeah. Nope, I got ice water.
We know how much you like to crunch the ice. DJ, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Thanks for. This
is also our last night together.
I know, and I'm a little
sad.
It's bittersweet. Yeah, we got to do a whole lot of stuff. There's a whole lot of other things we could have done.
Yeah,
I wish we had more time.
I think we made best use of the time we had, though. I think we did good. This was a great way to end it.
This is awesome.
This is fun.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you later. I was Captain Logan.
And I was DJ.
Bye, folks. I don't know how to end this live stream.
I'm going to do it with my mouse hand.